But how could you want reparations when you're admitting that there was no slavery? So yeah, it's definitely Tariq, and Tariq Nasheed. He's somewhat kind of like half-ass on the situation. Like he'll sit up there and say, well, the FBA ain't got nothing to do with with the Albo movement, but at the same time, there are some indigenous roots and all. He's not 100% or not solid on his stance. Yeah, so it brings that confusion when it comes to the FBA and the slavery, one or wanting reparations. Yeah, and my thing is, like I said before, you either believe in the historical records or not. Okay, and a lot of these abos, their claims have nothing to do with the historical records. Their claim is based on imagination, and they'll sit up there and say, well, there were no slave ships, there was no slavery, and I'm like, okay, if there was no ships or no slave ships, then how did the white man get over here? Are you trying to say that the white man is a Native American too? And what they don't realize is those ships were made of wood. Okay, wood and brick and stone don't last long. Okay, like even some buildings that used to exist 10, 20 years ago, they're going like as if they never existed. A lot of them are out of business. So those type of things disappear very quick. So you're not going to find any evidence of any of all these ships, because a lot of those things disappeared and got erased over time. But we know for certain that the slave trade did happen, and we know that the white man started from Christopher Columbus. He used ships to sell over here in America, and at some point in time he put slaves on those ships. Okay, there's no such thing as a slave ship. Okay, you can take any ship and put some slaves on it, and it's going to be a slave ship. Okay, any ship that's carrying some.
All right, slaves, 30 seconds. I pass them.
Yeah, can be considered a slave ship. But yeah, these guys, yeah, they're trying to be slick and make up their own false history and go against the original history. Yes, and I definitely agree that that foundational Black American, it should have nothing to do with the Native American Albo movement. Yeah, and that's all I got to say.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
No, I'll let the next brother speak. I'll come after him, Dennis. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Cobb. Unmute yourself, Cobb.
I was just wondering, this conversation that you guys are having, shouldn't it be based on family lineage? So the research of your family, genealogy research, should be the number one proof of who you are on this land. It shouldn't be anything you read in a book. It should be your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and so on and so forth. Because the only way you're going to find this quote-unquote African is go back in your own family history and show us where this African is. Because by example, can anyone on this panel, is anyone's grandparents born anywhere else?
So Kyle, hold on, Dre. Kyle, let me ask you a question. Do you identify as FBA or even ADOS?
No, I'm American.
Okay, so
I'm
you don't.
Copper-colored American.
Oh, he's
as defined in Webster's dictionary in 1828. I can trace my grandmother's grandmother to that time, and she looks the same as me. I'm not black, I'm brown. I'm copper colored.
Oh, so one of those pretendians?
No, sir. The fact that I can tell you There is.
I mean,
a
you said copper
description.
color, so I'm assuming you're a part of the Abo
Sir,
movement that
sir,
believes that
I
he's
didn't
not.
cut you off when you were talking. All I'm saying is I'm going by the fact that the definition of the word American, which is a people, in 1828 was a description that said copper-colored races. Now, since 1828 till today, these same colored people are here. And we have grandparents, parents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents that lead us back to that definition.
Did we lose him?
No,
All right,
I'm
go
right
ahead.
here.
Okay.
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
so.
but you're trying to make it about yourself, though. See, when it comes to you, you can only go back to your great-great-grandparents. Okay, but
No, sir.
this is not about you. Dude, this is about us as
No,
a
sir.
nation, as a race.
No,
And as a
sir.
race, we can go back beyond the Atlantic slave trade. So yeah, you can't
Sir.
go that far back when it comes to your genealogy. So how
Sir,
you gonna sit up here, and say that
Okay.
that we can't go we can't go all the way back to Africa, but you can only go back to your great-great-grandparents? That's not
No, sir.
far enough.
No, sir. I said what I said specifically in the deterrence of the description of what you call an American. Okay, so now therefore, my grandparents' grandparents have grandparents, and I know their lineage. See, here in this country, we have documents called birth certificates and death certificates that we can collect and possess about our heritage. Now, how many generations do you have to go back to find the African in your specific family?
So Cobb, just to get clarity. So you're
Very
in it. Dre, I'm talking. So Cobb, just a question. So you're a copper-colored American, but you're not part of any tribal nation or roles or anything. That what you're saying?
Why do you have to be an American?
Okay, so your family was just roaming around America as copper-colored.
No, sir, we lived here. Our families lived here, peacefully, civilized.
Right. So, but you're not part of any of the tribal nations. Your families just live in America as copper-colored Americans. That's it. That's what you're saying?
Okay, let's refer back to the 1828 definition. Does it say anything about tribal nations? It says the definition, if you look at it and read it, it says native to America, Aboriginal, or copper-colored races found here by Europeans.
Right, but again, the people that were found here by Europeans were part of a tribal nation. That's where I'm confused.
Yeah, they were.
There's several nations here that were a part of those tribal nations.
Right. So, Cobb, what nation are you part of? What nation are you part of?
I'm from the South.
Okay, we got past the mic. Go ahead, Free Game.
Yeah, blacks, copper color and blacks are two different things. Like,
okay, first of all, who are the blacks?
Stop. Let's stop it.
Are you black?
You wasn't
sir.
a citizen.
You was a black.
Sir, you wasn't a citizen. You couldn't even vote. This country was taken over by a whole different set of people. Stop.
Okay, when was this? When did this happen?
Y'all sound ignorant, man.
We sound ignorant. Okay, well, tell me, sir, when did your family come here?
Sir, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. Anyway, a lineage. FBA is saying that they're a lineage. They this and that. First of all, a lineage can't be trademarked. That's first. How could
a lineage has receipts?
Is Igbo trademark? Is Yoruba trademark? Is Hausa trade? No.
Is the United States of America trademark?
A lineage,
Hey, Cobb, don't interrupt him. Thank you. Go ahead.
a
Free Game.
lineage cannot be trademarked. That tells you everything you need to know as a Black American. Black Americans, African Americans are not indigenous to America. How could you be indigenous to America and a part of the same tribes as Native Americans when y'all are nothing alike? Genetically, you're not the same people. So
No,
why
the American
why
Indian
are these
and
Hey,
the Native
Cobb,
American are two different people.
don't interrupt him.
why are these people claiming tribes when they're saying Native Americans come from Siberia? It just doesn't make sense. And why it's always I'm from the South. Native Americans was connected to South America, Montana, Canada. Why none of y'all grandmas is from Wyoming? And is it one grandmother that was Native American or all of your grandmothers that was Native American? Do you know Native Americans owned slaves and they mixed with your grandmother? Being mixed and being Native American is two different things.
Being an American Indian and being Native American is two different things.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, hold on, sir. Hold on. I can prove that.
Oh my
In the
goodness.
United States
That's
of
just using
America,
semantics.
hold on. In the United States of America, there are two holidays.
Oh my goodness.
There's what you call American Indian Month, which is in the month of November. And then there's Indigenous Day, which is for Native Americans, the day before
They're the
Columbus
same
came. No, it's not the same people.
Yes, they are
Why
the
does
same
one have
people.
a
If you look
day?
up the
Why
definition of
is
what
one
American
a
Indian,
day and one a month?
that's just how it's set up. But that does not mean that they're not a part of the
No, it's
same
not.
people.
They're real
They are the
specific.
same people.
If they're the same people, they would have the same day.
These people are sick, man.
Free Game. You got a minute. I got to pass it in.
Okay, but anyway, how could you be related to people you're phenotypically nothing alike? How could you claim their tribes and not be affiliated with them genetically at all? It doesn't make sense.
An American Indian and a Native American is two different people.
Oh my goodness.
This is pseudo intellectualism, man.
Okay,
That's what it is.
well, okay.
You can
Is
go
an
ahead,
American
Dice. Go ahead,
Indian
Dice.
an American by
Go ahead, Dice.
nationality? Yes or no?
Did you ask that question again?
Is an American Indian and an American by nationality?
These are
Yes.
all abstractions that are not rooted in anything scientific, brother.
Is an American Indian an American by nationality? Yes or no?
Yes, they are because
Okay.
they are
So now
American.
the Indian, so the Indian would be the culture and heritage of the American by nationality, correct?
The Indian?
The American Indian. If the American word is the nationality of the person, then the Indian would be the heritage and culture of this person.
The
So
Indian
now-
part was made up by Christopher Columbus. He thought that they were Indians. That's why
Is the Indian a heritage and culture of the American by nationality?
Define
Yes
an
or
Indian.
no?
Define what an Indian is. And
The Indian,
the origin
That's
of
a
the
colonial
exonym.
American is the nationality of this person we call an Indian. And the
Define
Indian
American.
is the culture and heritage of the nationality we call
Define American.
Brother, you do know the word Indian comes from the word Hindu, which are the people in India today
Yes,
with the long short hair.
Southeast, yeah, South Asia.
That's not
No,
talking
but you
about
you have to
Americans.
have these people define these terms because they don't know the etymology or when they first started to come into the lexicon of these people. Y'all
Okay,
using anachronistic terms anyways historically.
in the 1800s, did India, was that the name of the place? India? In the 1800s?
Cobb. So you do
Yes or no?
understand how the Native Americans
Yes.
got the name.
Okay, so
Indian, right.
America The United States of America has Americans, correct? That's
Yeah,
the
I got you.
nationality.
We got to pass the mic. Free game. Are you done? Free game.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay. Free game. Are you done? Free game. Let me pass the mic. Ngolo, I think he's babysitting. Go ahead, Kidola. Kidola, mute
Thank
yourself.
you. Thank you, Dennis. This program that is going on in the United States is not really strange or to United States alone. This problem of not being Africa spread around the whole of where some of these black people are living, but actually be busy a lot for being Africa. Some of the women started missing with the Hindustans. I'll give you an example of a place like Suriname. In Suriname, some of the blacks are women married to some of these Indians men due to some certain rapes or being molested as servants of their houses and everything. And the children be born out of that relationship. Sometimes when you see them after some generation, they would deny being African because the Maroons, the ones who don't want to be slaves, as like the Maroons in that place that run to the jungle more deeper, they don't like those ones. They call those people bush people, and those one doesn't like the ones in the city called Paramaribo because they see them as weak blacks who want to be slaved by the masters. So when you meet them and say, "Hey, where you from?" They'll tell you, yeah, I've Indian in me. I'm Indian. I'm this. I'm that. They give you a lot of what to make up, but take out the Africans out. And that's actually what I'm seeing that is going also possibility in United States. And some of the Jamaicans also have such a thing also. You know, if we see a very dark Jamaicans, they would let you know, oh, I have a very good hair, and they mix with I don't know, Indians also. You know, so yeah, I have India in me. You know, so this problem is not only just tied to United States, but it's tied to where black people have some type of communication with other type of people, but try to take off the Africans out and measure where they have their good hair from. You know, so this how it will always be because of the caricature they place on Africa to be. You know, and not too long, even when the so-called musician from Jamaica started singing like Africa Unite, these are just recent something. Even Peter Touch that said, "Oh, if you're a black man, you are from Africa." They try to promote that because they were fighting against it, and you can see up to today, in Jamaica with kind of like funny type of hair or a little bit curly type of hair. We let you understand that he's not a typical African man. You know, he's mixed with the native and everything. Compared to people that look like Usabot, or people that look like very, very dark. Well, that's the colors that is playing there. You know, so I'm not too surprised that in the United States, I can understand that the word Africa is, but come from the white, was actually be perpetuated and be seen as mediocre, as caricatures, as Tarzan, and even the French try to draw an African man with a tail so that they can demonize the Africans, so they can slave them. Not too long ago, they were even placing Africans in some of people's zoo in the Bronx. They were doing it also in Belgium, you know, and all those things. So when you start seeing all those things, people will not want to associate themselves, even with the 80% African. They will let you understand that they're Creek or they're Blackfoot and all kind of something. But actually, when they start getting older, they start having what we call the African disease that will pump up later in their system, and the doctor start telling them, I think you need to eat a lot of greens, and you need to tell your African cousin if they can look for bitter cola for you to eat for your high VP. That's when they start realizing, oh, you mean what? I'm African? Oh, yes, sir, you're African. you need to start taking the medicine some of your cousins are taking. Don't worry, you can deny as you want, bro. But time will tell. By the time you become 60 to 65, the doctor started recommending some kind of herbs for your digestive, for your bone pain, and for your high VP. Time will tell. That's what I want to say, Dad.
All right, Grill of the Diaspora, go ahead.
How's my mic?
You sound good.
Okay, cool. Hey y'all. Yeah, so I was kind of late, but yeah, as a Black American who does not identify as FBA, I think that what's also really unfortunate about this particular situation is because naturally, whether you believe in delineation, whether you believe that you have indigenous ancestry, whether you are proud to have European ancestry, regardless of those things, naturally we should all still be able to have some type of community or have some type of common goal. What's confusing about this particular movement is that if you do not agree with xenophobia, if you do not agree with certain types of nationalism, if you don't agree with that delineation mindset, what I notice is that fellow Black Americans like myself and others are often disrespected, ostracized, called names, and I don't understand how you're supposed to build community or political movements through that. I'm not really clear on what that is. So for me personally, yeah, me being Black American and me being born as a Black American, there's no point of me changing or reclassifying myself to be in community with people who are not even in community with themselves, number one. Also, this concept that just because you are Pan-African, that people think that you don't critique or hold African people in the diaspora, African people on the continent, Caribbeans, etc., Black people in Latin communities, whatever, accountable is also false. I don't subscribe to that either. Me being Pan-African does not mean that Africans can disrespect me. Just like how I was disrespected the last time I was here, being asked if I believe that I'm African descent. And these are the things that I'm talking about, because when I say the word Black American, it should automatically mean that I'm African descent. So I just think that across the board, people are doing a thing where we're disrespecting people that are not even hateful towards each other simply because they do not agree with these hateful movements. And I'll just stop there.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Real quick?
Yeah. Okay.
Let me
You can
pass
say something.
Africa because we did go
No,
skip
I
over.
just
Go ahead,
wanted to
Africa.
say you're correct. Black American
Hold on.
does
Let me
mean
read
African
these super
descent.
chats first. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for telling Hala. I was the first one here saying this thing is confusion. Black Americans are not no Indian. It was not over here before. Shout out to the man of the High Castle. Detail, thank you for $2 holla. They sick and ignorant as hell. Big Keith 510. Thank you for $2 holla. You pedal in the extremes of the movement to try to discount the fact that discount the actual meat of the movement. You would say don't listen to the disrespectful people from the diaspora, but can't comprehend ADOS FBA. Richard Young 6429. Thank you for $2 holla. Louisa Woman is the oldest found. She was Black. Big Key 510. Thank you for $2 holla. This is plain and simple. We are a mixture of multiple African nations that created its own legit culture here in America. The purpose of the attack on FBA is to disparage Black Americans. That is a requirement to be Pan-African. No, it's not. All I'm saying is, again, Keith, FBA is shifting to being an ALBO movement. It's interesting. Richard Young 6429. Thank you for $2 holla. Albert Perry from SC has the oldest white Hibla group. Big Keith, thank you for the $20 holla. Igbo language customs origins are from Niger, yet they are allowed to claim Nigeria, where they created what is known as Igbo today. We can't accept that yet, not in Black American identity. Laugh loud as comical, respect is needed. No, you can be Black American. I'm Black American.
So do you believe there's such thing as white Americans?
Say that again?
Is there such thing as white Americans?
Yes.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
all? Okay,
Yes.
how long did it take? How many generations of people did it take for them to be from settlers to Americans?
It's Africa's turn to go, brother.
Yeah,
With
Africa. Go ahead,
I
Africa.
asked a specific question.
yeah, but
When a
Well,
European came here,
I
how
would
many generations did it take for them to become American?
well, in 1776 when they earned when
Okay,
they separated from the British.
that's when they settled here. Okay, so how many years did they become Americans? How many generations after that did they become Americans?
Well, in 1776, and once you're naturalized, you're American.
So what?
Okay,
250
so
years
now,
ago.
when you're naturalized, you're an American.
Correct.
But you're telling us that's been here, born here, our mamas born here, our grandmamas and great grandmamas and great great grandmamas. We're not Americans, we're Africans. But you're telling me the YT man could come here one generation and become an American?
No, you're American. You're American of African descent.
How? When did I?
their
Okay,
concept though?
show me
Why do you,
how many
brother?
generations back do I have to go to find that African that you're clinging on to?
When
I have
the
a question
slaves
for you.
first
Brother, why
arrived,
would you want to
when
identify
slaves
with a
first arrived in
concept that you
America,
didn't
that's
create?
how many generations you go.
Why do you want to identify with the concept that you and the people that you identify with did not create, and it was
What
forced upon you?
concept are you talking about that we didn't
American.
create?
You are not Italian or any. You're
Why
not
don't you
Gaelic. You're
answer?
not
Why don't you
anything
answer his
that's
question though?
Latin. Why are you trying to identify
An
with America of
American,
Vespucci? You're not American.
America is a continent, north, central, and south.
But it's also a country, the
Brother,
United States.
that
It's,
concept is a
and there's
European. That's not.
Americans
You did
Why
not.
don't you
in the
Your
answer
people
his
did
United
not
question?
States
create
of
that concept,
America.
brother.
Well,
That's what
okay.
I'm saying.
So
The concept of America does not
hold on, one
yours.
mic.
So is
Answer
that
the man
Wait,
question.
Hold on,
hold
one mic.
on.
No. One mic. Ngola, I understand your point now. So D, what were you before Christopher Columbus called you copper colored, and before before 1776 when the Declaration of Independence was signed? Like, what was this nation? What did you call this nation, D, Mr. Cobb? Because you're not an American.
America. Hold on. Are we saying that this was not called America before 1492? As a
Well, you said your
continent?
people were
That is
here.
exactly right.
So before 1492, what did you call it, Cobb?
Okay. Okay. Was this a continent called America
No,
before
it was not.
1492?
No, it was not. No,
You
it was
can't.
not.
There's no way
They
you
were
can empirically
colonies.
prove this, and this is nonsense that you're trying to postulate this, brother. Like, come
It
on,
was.
bro.
It was
No,
not called
well, God,
America before
hold on.
1492.
So Cobb, what are you? Because you're not American. What are you?
If I'm not American, what am I?
What did your people call this landmass before it was called America? Because you said you're a
It
copper
didn't have a
Tell
colored
me
name.
when
people.
this landmass wasn't called America.
Before America,
Show me.
they named that the America back.
Before
I
America
learned this in
Show
elementary
me.
school. Yeah,
You
before they
have to
landed.
show. You
God,
cannot
before.
prove that.
Oh Lord, go ahead, Africa.
No.
Yeah.
You have
Great.
an assumption, but
That's
you
not an
cannot
assumption. That's
prove
not
that.
an
Bro, it's
assumption.
not an assumption.
That's
How would
not
they
an
name it if they
Okay,
That's
haven't even
just
been
prove
here?
what
facts.
it was
That's
called
historical fact,
before
brother.
it was called America.
It's
They named
historical
it
fact.
after Americo
Before,
Vespucci. So what did your people
no,
call it
sir,
before
that was in the 1500s when they made that accusation. So that was
No, this.
long
So
before. Excuse
So
me.
are
before
So
you
now,
are
That's
you
how that's how
saying
America got its name.
Okay, so
sorry?
Cobb. So hold on. So Cobb, before that, what was America called in your language?
Hmm.
it's
He's probably gonna
language.
make it up.
Cobb. No,
America,
Cobb. What was it called in your language?
Not, brother. Ask him to.
Go. I'm asking a question. What was America called in your language, Cobb?
as far as we all know, America's been America, and it's the American English language.
Before
So,
English.
Oh
I
my
know
Before the
God,
European
we
bro.
gotta
This
arrival.
is,
pass the mic.
bro. This is crazy, bro.
We
Y'all need
gotta
help,
pass the
bro.
mic.
Real
Go ahead,
talk.
Okay,
Africa.
okay,
Go
you guys
ahead.
Yeah,
are
I mean,
talking
I'm
about
passing the mic now. I'm passing the mic. Go to Africa.
Crazy, bro.
yeah. I mean, thank you very much, guys. You know, I mean, it's quite interesting. I am partially with the sister that spoke earlier. You know, we should not lower ourselves to this identity politics, and also we shouldn't um, be forced to agree to certain concept. You know, to be accepted. You know, I'm the one that always said, you know, African Americans or Black Americans of African descent should have they would form their own ethnicity. You know, where I partially agree with the man that was speaking earlier. I mean, if you've been in the area for since the 17th century, you know, you are part of that area. You know, because you know culturally, you know, it's gonna change genetically. You might change because you probably have times, you know, different type of admixture. but that still doesn't change who you are as a person. We know for a fact that the people of African descent are, that went to the Americas, from West Africa and West Central Africa. These are majority Niger Congo people. And genetically, linguistically, I would say mainly linguistically, they are Niger Congo people, okay? And that doesn't change the fact. Yeah, it will never change it. It depends on the amount of admixture that you have, today since then, how many other admixture that you add into your family lineage, that's another debatable, but that's probably going to go into individual um, basis. But culturally, yes, I think the African Americans or Africans, Black Americans or African descent have, a different culture. They have a very unique and strong and a very powerful culture, quite resilient people. And also, we
Why is our
have
culture different than yours then?
why is it different to because of the it's different continents. You have lived in America with other group of people because cultural sometimes you learn from different other groups and you have a different exchange of culture.
So
And
do you
also, I mean,
realize that we were segregated
okay,
Bro, don't
okay,
for
take him off his
100
point,
years?
uh,
bro. Let him finish.
yeah. So you exchange cultures, and also yes, I mean,
We didn't
to be
exchange
honest,
nothing. We were segregated until 1970.
Can you please stop interrupting this man?
But you
look,
claim
so
it. You don't know our history. Talking
Can you
about
So,
we was
please
doing
stop
this on our
interrupting this
own.
man?
Man, come on, man.
real quick, Cobb, it's not our history. You're a copper color Indian. Like I don't, you got a separate history. But go ahead, Africa.
No,
yeah,
nigga, your mama
so
was here like my mama. Don't act
Oh,
like you
excuse,
wasn't
all
for the
right.
South.
Bro, come on,
So
man.
Cobb,
Come on, bro.
listen.
no, no,
Don't
no, you don't do
diss
that.
our history.
Cobb. So you
So
got
how
You
many
two.
wasn't
thousands
in
of
the
years
United
ago
States.
Cobb, I'm talking.
people here?
Cobb, I'm talking now.
Your
So you got
family
two.
wasn't.
Cobb,
Your family was
you're
in
not gonna talk over
Milwaukee.
me. Cobb, you got two options. You could pay the $10 fine, or you could drop off.
Right,
Cobb, you got two options. You could pay the fine, or you could drop off. Or he dropped off. All right, go ahead.
good. Oh God.
Go ahead.
Some of our elders, man, they're really angry. But you can understand, it's a problem. Is to be honest, I think what's going on here. Some people like to attach themselves into the other groups because it's lack of self-esteem most of the time. But some of the time, it's rights that rightfully African Americans should have their own culture and they should um stick to it because there's so many reasons why they shouldn't trust other group infiltrating their culture because historically it's already happening in the past. You can't trust them. But genetically, there's a debate. Linguistically, obviously, most African Americans speak English children. I would say almost 100%. And culturally, they still have, they obviously their culture is very strong. I mean, African American culture is one of the most powerful and the most attractive culture in the world. Where they find themselves today, from where they came from to where they are, they're one of the most admirable group in the world. Absolutely. But genetically, yes, I mean, you have had different admixture over the years, but you have been in America, for the last 17th century. Okay, and I mean in West Africa alone, we have ethnic group in West Africa, like in the Guinea Coast where I come from. They only moved to our region around the 17th century, and they class as native, to that region. So I mean, there's some of the people are making a great point. I agree with them. Some people are making the point they're making is quite arguable, but we should just be, as the sister said, we should just learn to disagree and agree with each other in a civilized manner. I pass the mic. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Johnny. Unmute yourself, Johnny. Johnny. Okay. All right, go ahead, Derek. Unmute yourself, Derek. Derek. All right. All right, let me read these super chats. Shout out to FBA Youngline. Thank you for 499. Holla. Calling yourself Black American, Black or African American by definition means that you are a descendant of Africa. Enigma 3747. Thank you for $2. Holla. Africa was not called Africa before Julius Caesar. Enigma 3747. Thank you for $2. Holla. Nigeria was not called Nigeria before Flora Shaw. All right. Real to Diaspora. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to ask the question, to the people who do believe that they are indigenous, what makes them so superior to the Black people who are not?
Well, I don't think it's a matter of superiority. I think it's just, well, actually, it is. I think the reason why they identify more and closer to being indigenous or Native Americans than African is because the way white people have romanticized Native Americans and Indians versus anything coming from sub-Saharan Africa. That's my theory. And that's the same thing for, they want to be from Israel, Hebrews, you know, the original Black Romans, the original Black Greeks, you know, Egypt, even though, you know, Egypt definitely had a Black African presence, but they completely skip over so-called sub-Saharan Africa, right, in West Africa, because white people did not romanticize West Africa, Central South Africa, and they come to America because white people romanticized America. So then we the original Americans now. So that's my theory.
So
white
she
people,
thinks that
white people find value in it. We attach ourselves to it. White people don't find value in it. We don't want it.
So she thinks that FBAs are superior or have the superiority complex. Is that what she's saying?
I could have sworn I just asked a question. It's not about what she thinks. I just asked a question for people to answer.
Well, I mean, I don't think that way. No, I'm not thinking that way. I don't. I mean, now as far as like the FBA people, I do think that they have that main character syndrome because they want to be the center point of every conversation, which I do agree with some of the Pan-Africanists on, even though I'm not a Pan-Africanist by, you know, definition or by, you know, affiliation. However, I do think that they do make points in terms of lineage. We do need to be specific because Africans over there in Africa are specific about who they are. They don't define themselves through a continent. They define themselves through tribes and maybe through countries. I don't know. The only time they do that, say the African and Black stuff is only when they get in Western countries. That is the only time they say that. Not when they're in their native countries, because they are defining themselves strictly by where they come from and who they are attached to. I don't know why people think that, oh, all Africans think the same way and all Africans have the same culture. They don't have the same cultures. They don't have the same tribes and they don't have the same anything. They are very diverse people.
That's true. I agree with that. That's true. I mean, no one would dispute that. But however, there's one thing we have in common in West Africa. We are majority of what they call Niger Congo people, Niger Congo lineage. You know, our Halpro group, you know, from our father's side said it all. So, you know, and when you trace your lineage yourself, you know, the African Americans and the Caribbeans and those in the South America and Brazil, is the same thing that comes up. So there's no difference to what you see in West Central Africa today, as Dennis was saying.
The culture is extremely similar. Like when you can bring down 50 quote unquote ethnic groups. The core tenets of most of the cultures are going to be extremely similar in any way that you look at it. Like even if these terms linguistically, like if you look at, like I said before, like the Jula people, the Bamana people, the Mandinka, these if 100 years from now, if they stay isolated, they'll be quote unquote another ethnic group, but they're not. They're really the same people. The languages are 95% mutually intelligible. Like it's not really these differences that y'all be seeing from the surface. Once you dig and really look into it, our cultures are extremely similar, bro.
Absolutely.
So why do they differentiate themselves from themselves? Like why do they distinguish themselves? Though?
It's the same way we do it over here. It's geography. Like you might and geography sometimes, yeah. Like it just depends on the aspect. But when you look at it, bro, on deeper than the surface, like I said, majority are extremely similar. Like there's more similarities than there are differences.
Yeah.
All right, let me pass the. I gotta pass the mic. Let me pass the mic to It's actually Derek's turn. Go ahead, Derek.
Thanks. Y'all can hear me well.
We hear you loud and clear.
So I was intriguing conversation. I consider myself, you know, FBA, and that's just solely, you know, as just to say, hey, we get it. We were classified as, I guess you can say, African American at some point. But more and more, there's been more integration or immigration of Africans, so that term can become confusing. So we changed that from Black American or foundational Black American, right? So my whole thing is, it seems like there's a lot of I guess animosity from that term. Like people just get so offended by foundational Black American saying, "Hey, I'm foundational Black American." Like, what's so offensive about that? Like, if I can't trace nothing to Africa from many generations, not a
So
thing from
Derek,
Africa.
let me ask you a
So
question.
what?
Are you
So
now claiming that you're indigenous to this land or Native
no,
American or?
no, I didn't. But what can I point to anything in Africa? Like, where in Africa are we from?
Oh,
Do we know?
Mainly
Derek,
West Central.
man, I'm
But
talking. I'm
what?
talking.
What?
Don't
What though?
interrupt me.
Okay.
All right, but so Derek, are you do you have African roots at least or?
Yeah, I would assume
Okay,
so. But
okay, okay.
where?
Go ahead.
Well,
All
where?
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
What region? We can't say country because the countries are only developed what in the '60s, right? The borders. But what? What tribe? What? We don't know. So what are we? What do we
W-
have anything to lean on?
We're a mixture of multiple ethnic groups. That's just the reality of it. So you
Mainly
can
in the
claim
Western
All
and
right. So
Central.
all
you
right,
can
cool.
claim
So
as many as
what
you
are
want.
those? So
You could
what are those people?
majority of the
Okay.
people that came over here, well, numerically were Bakongo. Majority of the people that's on the East Coast,
Can you
their
prove that
majority
then?
came from the Rice Coast, the
Can
Timney,
we?
the Mende, those people up there. If you come from Louisiana, majority of your lineage is Bakongo, Bamana,
Guinea,
Wolof,
Guinea.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Guinea Coast of the Rice Coast. So it's like
Mm.
historically, we know where we come from, depending on where you are from
Do
in the
we?
United States.
How do you figure out? How do you know where you come from? Like, can I go to
Brother,
Africa and say,
because of documents. You can go if you're from Louisiana. Anybody that's from Louisiana, 9 times out of 10, well, if you come from like the southern areas, like Plaquemine Parish or Orleans Parish or St. Jefferson Parish, this is documented. Of when these people got converted to Catholicism, it put what region that they came from. A lot of if you go on slavevoyages.org, it's good. There's a database to where it will tell you the direct lineage maps that it lines up. Now, are you going to literally get every person? No, but it gives you a direct idea. And when people do these genetic tests, when they compare their genome to the people that are there to the populations now, it parses out for the most part. So yes, you
what
scientifically and
you
historically it maps out.
what did you say that website was? Slave what? Slave heritage?
Slavevoyages.org.
Slave wages?
Slavevoyages.org.
So I'll check that out and look that up. So okay, so if I find out that from whatever region in Africa as a Black American, you saying that I can go to Africa and be a part of some tribe? Like what? How do we know where to fit in as as a Black American people? How do we, I guess you could say, identify ourselves with the African culture?
So Derek, find out what tribe you're from, and I'll take you there.
Yeah, Dennis will help you out
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, I'll
Maybe you
take you
should
there. That's
keep
what
in
I'll
touch
do.
with
I'll
Dennis.
take you there.
All
Yeah.
right. So before we do the African travel and all of that here in America, what
I,
what do
I've,
what
I've,
do
I've
what
Derek,
do
Derek, I've, Derek, I've done it twice.
so what do we consider ourselves here in America then? Just like what African
I'm
American,
I'm just
Black American,
I'm
or
Black American. If Black American and African American are interchangeable, if
right.
you ask
All
me.
right. So what's the difference between Black American and foundational Black American? What's so offensive
Yeah,
about
that's
that?
that's
No,
what I want to know too.
no.
I can
Like I
answer that
said,
for you.
it's not that. I don't find it offensive. I understand the idea. It's just it's turning into an
Yeah.
What's
Afro
the
movement.
but that what do you mean you understand the idea? It's no idea. It's just saying I am Black American, and with
No.
foundational in front
I
of it,
agree,
there's
but
nothing
people,
different.
but it's turning into an abo movement. That's what I'm saying.
What
Like
is
it's
that? What is
slowly
Abo
turning.
movement? If you can help me out, I don't
That is
understand what that is.
we the original. We really Indian, no connection to Africa.
Ah,
That's why I asked you if you believe that you have African roots, and you said yeah. I said
oh,
okay, well that's good.
yeah, no, I understand that. You can go down that rabbit hole, but I'm just saying here, like I'm here in New York, right? And what you
When you
you
say go
you
down that rabbit
about
hole, when you say go back down the rabbit hole, what do you mean?
being like Native American or whatever
I
like
mean,
that,
are
you
you
know,
do you believe you're of African roots or Native American?
African roots.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, cool.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. But we're on the same page. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so here in America, you have all these different groups, countries that come here proudly say who they are, where they're from, this, that, and the third. But when a Black American says, "Oh, well, no, I am just foundational Black American," it's offensive.
No,
I get his
Like
point
you
though,
could
in all
you could
fairness.
tell somebody you could tell
Yeah, I get your
somebody
point.
all day, I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm no black, I'm this, that, and the
Mm.
third. I'm saying yes, no, I am American Black. I am a foundation of Black. But now it's like, what? You don't want to try to belong to something else? So it's like, can we have pride for being Black American, or do we have to try to find out where we are from Africa? We got to try to find our tribe, all these other things. Like, what are we here in the States? That's my question.
No, I
It
think the
depends on how
reason
you
why
think,
they're
though.
upset.
I can't hear
Like,
nothing. It was just a bunch of jumbo. Somebody say it again.
no, the brother that was finished, you would speak.
Oh yeah, I would say
it
the
seems
reason
to me
why
that
I feel like people have an issue with the term FBA is because of the delineation part of it and the xenophobia. I think that comes with saying that you're FBA, or the perceived xenophobia that people see it as. They feel like people are dividing themselves up. I think that's the reason why people have
How
such
is that
outrage
though?
by it.
That's crazy because I remember I often said this back in the days. Like I'm one like I was born and raised in the South, Florida, all of that. But when we sit here and we say, oh, I often said that Black people, we always open our doors to everybody. We always try to make it seem we always want to be accepted by everybody. And I think more so nowadays, we have multiple groups now that make it very clear that they're not you, and in many cases kind of look down upon you. Then
Yep.
I actually really love love these times because Black folks are looking within, and we tightening up as a group, and we saying nah, that ain't Black, that's Nigerian, that's whatever, that's this. We ain't claiming that. One, we don't have the same culture at all. I can't identify to nothing Nigerian, nothing Jamaican, Haitian, none of that. So why can't we look within and say, nah, we Black American, this is what we do here.
No,
And
but in
without it
terms of
being
what is not similar.
No, but
divisive and
Ngolo,
In
all that
terms
other
of what
stuff,
is not
I
similar.
think
no, but no. Ngolo,
it's
as an African,
offensive
I
that we
agree with
not.
him. I agree
I
with him.
think it's
He's making some good
offensive.
points.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, he's
I think
not
it's
making a good
Nah, well,
offensive.
point.
guys, let him finish. He
Holy
has
shit.
30 seconds. I gotta pass the mic.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't understand why people think it's offensive because we're saying, no, I'm not whatever. I am Black American. And people are like, no, you're from Africa. But if I was to sit here and say, nah, if I was to say, oh, I'm Igbo, then if I was to an Igbo person, they'll be like, well, who's your whatever, what tribe, what this, that, and third. And it becomes offensive that I'm claiming to be something that I'm not. No, I'm just telling you that I'm foundational Black American. For some reason, everybody takes offense to that. I don't, that boggles my mind. Like,
All right, let me
what's so
pass
offensive?
let me pass the mic. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Johnny.
All right, appreciate it, Darnis. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, I'm glad I went after dude so I could explain this. I'm gonna explain and answer your question as clearly and as thoughtfully as possible, and I'm gonna try to even be respectful about it too. All right, the term FBA, right? Let me first qualify this by saying that I'm a heritage Black American with my family who's been here in the South and everything, going back since who knows how long. So this is not coming from no immigrant or nothing like that. All right. FBA is a trademark term, and it's a movement that was founded to identify Black Americans from the rest of the Black diaspora. And it was done mostly to show that there's a difference for the purpose of reparations, right? Even at that point, cool, right? Whatever, we're good at that point. But the movement continues on, and it started to become and develop hateful rhetoric for other diasporas. It started pulling on emotional strings from heritage Black Americans and trying to get them riled up. So either with anger and emotions by showing what, one specific example or outlier of an African might be doing, or Caribbean or whatever. It hijacks and uses the terms from other heritage Black Americans that would never have associated with this if they were alive, like Harriet Tubman or Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. None of them would have been with us for sure. And you can see that in the writings and everything that they have from them. But the ignorance that comes from the internet and the divisiveness is what makes it to where the term irks people who are not associated with that movement or they don't want to be part of it.
Why?
It's not just a
So,
simple, hold on, time out. It's a simple thing of just trying to stop the honest discussions and to having real feedback. It becomes a place where people are punching down, using facts and things that have historically been used to to motivate Black people around the world, not just in America. but everywhere in the diaspora about unity, these messages. And now people are trying to hijack those same people and the same causes and using it to tear down other Black people around the world, right? We have names, right? We go by either Black Americans or African Americans. If you tell somebody that, or if you identify yourself as that, people will know instinctively what you're referring to. And we're proud to be Black, right? I'm proud to be Black. I'm proud of the stuff that all the Black people who came before me in America did, right? The fights that they put up, the fights they continue to put up to make it easier or impossible to do things that would have been, unheard of 50, 60, 70 years ago to do what we're doing now. But I think in that same vein, we got to remember the bigger message too. The bigger message comes from Pan-African leaders and Pan-African teachers. And with the latest wave that we have, it's crazy that this is the kind of assault that we see on our Pan-Africanist movement. Lucky to me, it's so blatant that it's easily defeated. And I think that it's already built in, like the virus is built into FBA, so it won't survive just because of the hateful rhetoric. People don't want to associate with it publicly. But that's for a different issue. But I think overall we're set up for success globally, right? In the information age, we can find books that are, that would have been impossible to read. You can read books from Frantz Fanon and from Patrice Lumumba. You can learn different languages online now. There's so many things that could have made a success, 60 years ago, 80 years ago, that now we have access to immediately. Travel is easy to do anywhere in the world, pretty much. Dynas is leading the charge on that. And, I just think that with everything that's going good, why do we have to sit with such a weak counter movement to all of the progress and stuff that we're making? If you wanted to call yourself ADOS, whatever, or just use the term that's already out here, it wouldn't lead to that type of response. If you told somebody you were Black, you was kind of using them interchangeably earlier, but if you just said, hey, I'm Black,
it's all the same
or
thing.
I'm African American, you wouldn't have had no type of pushback from people. But when you throw in this other word, people think about the rhetoric and stuff. There's a literal, listen to what I'm saying, bro. There's literally a negative derogatory word that comes from this that they're using to call other people that are Black too, that they invent. That's divisive, bro, all the way around. So
what you mean, the
with
word
all that
tethers?
stuff going,
all right, so drop
with all that,
drop
hold
the
on, I'm
foundation,
almost
yeah.
done. Hold on. So that's basically what I want to lay out. And I want to say, basically, just you as an individual, anybody who calls himself FBA as an individual, let us know where you're at in a movement of progression. What are you doing specifically, or what movements are you part of specifically that are for the progression of the Black race, or even from Black American race? That's what I want to know, specifics that you're doing, not just punching down on other Black people, that come from different places, but specifically, what are you doing to build us up anywhere, in any type of way? And I'm gonna leave it right there.
All right, guys. Let me read this super chat. I'm gonna pass it to M. Let's see here. These tribes look different: Zulu, Kojin, Swazi, Tsonga, Mdele, Vinda, Pede, and Somalis and Ethiopians' characteristics are completely different. All right, go ahead, M. Guys, I have to go get my son. I'll be back. Y'all hold it down. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you, sir.
It's all good. Okay.
I want to respond to
Hey, Dynas, before you go, can you put the commercial on?
Where's the commercial? What commercial?
Your commercial, man.
I want to respond to Angola and the woman who asked, does FBA feel they're superior because they call themselves, or she say they call themselves indigenous? Mr. Angola talks as though he's the authority, but he never told us where he got his credentials, like where did he get his degrees, his doctorate degrees at in American studies or African studies. If you look at do anybody hear me?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. So if you look at Africa and America, they have they're very similar. And the way that people are talking down, punching down that the people that's calling themselves FBA on this panel, it's akin to how when the jihadists went to Africa with the sword and made them make they shahada or die. Or when the Roman Empire told them either you're a Roman or you're going to be enslaved or you're a barbarian. Like it's like those are the extremes that you're saying. Like if you're African or nothing, but the word African itself, you can't even tell me the original name of Africa. That's the Roman Empire came with that name.
So
And
what's the
America
derogatory
itself,
term they use to call FBA?
the derogatory term is
Let
a
him finish.
kata.
This is a
Let him
straw
finish.
Akata.
man.
But
If
I
you
would say
addressing
this.
me, this is a straw man. Just to be frank.
Stop interrupting me. Let me finish my statement.
I'm going to let
So
him finish. Let him finish.
if you look at America, like I say, there's a lot of parallels. Most of the states maintain their original names. Illinois, for instance, or Mississippi. At one point, over 1,000 years ago, most of the American continent, most of the American of North America or United States was called Mississippi. It was called Mississippi and Mound Builders. The river, one of the biggest rivers on earth, still maintains the name Mississippi. So you can't say we don't have our original names because you say you're not part of an Italian or Americo Vespucci. That discussion requires scholarship. It's not like you can just answer that in one sentence because most people don't even know the history of the continent. Just like nobody on this panel can tell you the name of Africa. I done heard it was called Mauritania. I done heard it was called Akibalan. I done heard it was even called Ethiopia. But who can tell you for sure what Africa was before the Roman Empire? And all of y'all calling yourself something that
No, let him finish. Let him finish. Go on, then.
Julius Caesar created Novo Africa and Vitra Africa, meaning old Africa, new Africa, when he conquered North Africa. Actually, when he conquered the Roman Empire and became
when
emperor,
you speak a language, you got to use those proper nouns. So
but
that's
I'm
why
saying
people use
those names are
I'm
not
just trying to let
original.
them finish. This is a straw man.
Nigeria
How does
itself
it tie to being
is
Black
not
American?
even the original name.
Well,
But you have
let
over
him finish. In
200.
all fairness,
You have
let
over
him finish.
All right, bro.
200.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You have
man.
over 250 million people around to the nearest 10 million calling themselves something that a European white woman colonizer named them with pride, and then they come and tell us we don't know who we are. What's your name? My father was born in Mississippi. That's the original name, way before anything from Africa or anything from Europe. And we have the biggest freshwater lake in the world, or one of them. I think the other one is the around the Black Sea. You have the Nile River, Niger River, but our river still maintains our original name. So all this talk about we call ourselves something of a white man. Even in Florida, the Miami tribe come from Indiana. It was after the Indian Removal Act when they was driven out of Indiana. They went to Florida. Like most of these names in the United States are original names, and they still maintain those names. You can't even say that about Africa because most of those names came from the Berlin Conference. So coming punching down about us, telling us we from Africa.
Let me
How we from
throw this in
Africa
real
when
quick, bro.
Africa is not even a real name? You said
Let me
what?
throw this in real quick. What about the?
Okay, yeah.
I think
Interject.
the important distinction. I think the important distinction, bro, is that.
But let me finish real quick. I don't think my personal opinion, because according to slavery voyages, less than 5% of the slaves came to North America. Most of them went to the Caribbeans and South America. So they say it's impossible for that small percentage of people to produce this massive population in the United States. So me personally,
who said that? Wait. Cite a source, bro. Who said it's impossible?
It's obviously not
voyages
impossible,
says less than 5%. But I
Bro,
would say this though.
no, for you,
hold on.
bro, that is just a clear fallacy.
I can make my point just like anybody can just babble and don't have no scholarship to it. You don't tell nobody where you got your degree.
You can look up what's going on.
But let me finish what I'm saying.
You don't need a degree to make sense, man.
But let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. We might have the same genetics because, DNA, human beings, but I don't think personally that we are connected because of the slave trade. I think based on my theories and my research,
here we go,
that the Africans came from us because we have people here whose genetics is over 200,000 years older than the Africans by what's his name? Albert Perry. His Y chromosome is over 200,000 years older than the oldest African Y chromosome. So
So that will make him
I don't
older than the
believe
oldest
that.
human.
I don't
That don't make
believe that.
any sense.
Bro, that's the
I mean,
dumbest.
Google that.
Now you getting into
Google that. Google. It's
This
true. It's actually
pseudo
true.
Okay.
no geneticists
It's not true though.
just said
What I'm
serious.
saying is,
Emmy got 30 seconds, man. Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I think that they come from us. I don't think we come
Okay.
from
And
Africans.
you an
And they
idiot.
got pyramids
Yeah,
that
that's
Okay,
stupid to
that's
say.
fine. That's fine. That's
Let me
fine.
just
Yeah,
address one thing real quick, bro.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
just want to address
yeah,
one thing,
go
bro.
on.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, interject.
Bro,
Yeah.
no. This is what I wanted to tell you, bro. I get what you're saying. Like the actual names of these countries are like very new, but the actual cities inside have more history to them before these like artificial borders got put up. So
Be
I mean,
specific. What are you talking about? Are you talking about African or
I'm going to
American?
explain it to you, bro. So, for example, Lagos, for example, Dar es Salaam, like these cities have been around for a long time before
How
these
many
borders
years?
had came. Bro, come
Lagos has
on,
not
man.
been around for
Just
long.
listen to what
No,
I'm
it's
telling
not.
you, man.
That's not Lagos.
Listen to what I'm telling you, okay? They've been around for a long time. These are historical
What a
cities.
long
Before,
time
let
is
me
like,
finish, man. Let me
be
finish.
Spanish.
Let me finish.
Be specific. I mean,
Bro, look it up. They've been around for hundreds of years. Each of them.
we got
Way
states
before.
in America been around longer than that. The
Longer than hundreds
Mississippians
of
been
years.
around longer
No,
than that.
let
Let
the
me
man
finish my
interject.
point
Go,
though.
pass the mic.
My point to you that I'm trying to explain, bro, as respectfully as I can, is that these places have history too. It's not like everything got put up and just, civilization just started from Europeans. You can look up Great Zimbabwe and see how long
We
that's
got
been around.
pyramids in
You can look.
America.
Okay.
Bro,
Pyramids.
I'm about to get
Who
disrespectful,
is this
man.
we?
It's starting to
Are you
piss me off now,
postulating?
man. For
Are you
real, dude.
postulating that these were black people that you descend
Can
from
we?
that created this stuff and created
He
these
just trying to
names of
latch on to
Mississippi?
stuff. I'm about to
Are
get
Yeah.
you a
disrespectful, man.
Siberian? Are
Okay.
you a Siberian? Are
Is
you
that?
Mongolian?
Hey,
Is that what
one
you're
You
second.
can
Let's
postulating?
I can
moderate
be
the
done
panel.
for a
One
second,
One
man.
second.
second. One mic.
One
One
second.
mic.
Let's moderate the
Dr.
panel,
Dre.
guys.
A
Let's
mic at a
relax.
time.
Dre. Dr.
Hello.
DREW. It's your turn, sir.
Africa, real quick. Let's
Yeah.
moderate the panel. Dynas has announced that he has stepped away for a second, so this is not the
Yeah. That's
opportunity to do things that y'all would not be doing
yes.
if he was here. Okay, so let's moderate
Yeah.
the
That's what
panel
I'm
for
doing.
1
Yeah.
second. Let's do that.
Okay.
I'm purposely not
You want to
responding. I'm
moderate?
waiting
I'll
for
let you
Dynas to
moderate.
come back. I'm
You're
still
the lady. I'll
talking
let you.
though. Like, stop. Like, can you relax? I am trying to moderate. Relax. It's not that deep.
Okay.
Like, relax. I'm
Okay. That's
still
cool.
talking. Relax.
You
I
want the
just
power.
said I am
I
trying
didn't
to
think
moderate the
Dynas
panel.
left
I
you in
am not
charge.
giving an opinion right now. I am trying to
Did
moderate
Dynas
the
leave
panel
you in
because this
charge?
is
He
Dynas'
usually leave
stage.
Africa in
Bro, let
charge.
her finish.
Man,
She's
let
in
her
charge.
talk,
No.
bro.
Relax.
Shut up.
Nobody put her in charge. What you talking
She's in
about?
charge, bro. Shut up. She's
Actually,
co-hosting the
We put
panel.
her
I'm
in charge.
Oh,
We
co-hosting.
shut
voted
up.
her in charge,
Actually, I
bro. Let
am.
her
I know
talk.
y'all
Nobody
don't like
voted her in
women, but
charge,
actually,
man.
I
Y'all just
am.
talking crazy.
So
It's
shut the
usually
fuck up and
Africa.
relax.
We
So
put her
like
in
I
charge,
said,
bro.
so
You didn't
like
Stop.
put
I
her in
said,
nothing, man. You ain't got no
so like
scholarship, man.
I
Where you go to
said,
school at? Just some
so
street
like
dude
I
talking.
said, so like I said, I am moderating the panel. Whoever was
Okay.
talking, finish your point. You have 1 minute.
I
That
don't know
is
who
it.
put her in charge. Dynas didn't put you in charge.
She's in
What you
charge, bro.
talking
You need
about?
to cut it out,
She
for
could.
real.
Whoever was speaking, just speak,
Let me
bro.
let me
Ignore
say
buddy,
this.
dude.
Man, you just
Real
some
quick,
dumb
Lola.
dude, man. You
Let
don't know
me
what you're
say
talking
this.
about.
Let me say this.
No,
She
bro,
could
you
be
an
in charge.
idiot.
Let her
It's
be.
okay.
Let
She
her be
said
in
whoever
charge.
was
Let her be
speaking,
in
You
speak.
charge.
just interrupting, man. We was having
Right. I
Bro,
let y'all
No,
talk.
bro,
let
Dyna
she
allows
gave
back
the
and
mic
forth.
for 1 minute to
I
somebody
got you,
to speak, bro.
Dynas
Why is
allows
y'all trying
back
to
and forth.
overrun her, bro? Who was
Hey, let
talking?
her talk. Let her
Sitting here
moderate it.
losing voices
Who
and
are
y'all
these
like,
weak
man, I
men?
get
Let
that.
her
I get
do
that
it.
now.
Yeah.
Weak
Hey, you're a weak
man.
man, man.
Somebody who fled their
Let
country
her run
talking
the
about weak
show.
man. Go ahead.
Man, shut your mouth,
Right,
man.
but you're gonna call me names. So let me
let
Nobody
her
put her in
moderate.
Nah,
charge,
bro,
man.
dude is a goofy, bro.
ask
Like,
somebody
dude is
with a bachelor's degree
Dude,
in
where you go to
Africana
school
studies,
at for
ask
one?
somebody with a
You talking all
master's
this
degree in
scholarship.
African studies, ask somebody who has studied abroad in Africa. Yeah, since you want to know about people's degrees, please list yours.
I wasn't even gonna entertain him, sister. Dude is an idiot, bro. He don't
He's
even.
just a
I don't
dumbass.
gotta show him no credentials, bro.
No, he
Like,
wanted
he's
credentials, so
not
I
touching
listed
man.
mine. List
I
yours.
have a degree. I'm actually in school for architecture right now.
Motherfucker, you're like 50 years
Bro,
old,
you
bro. Give it
50
All
up.
years
right,
old, bro.
y'all got it.
Guys,
Sorry.
let's
Whoever
calm
was
down, please.
speaking, don't go for the minute. So go in organized fashion now from now on, like she said, bro.
Sister, hey, sister, control the show. show. Don't let this mental health people to
I
disturb them.
mean, nobody's
Because
up front in charge. Usually Africa.
She's
I
in
don't know. She
charge,
just
bro.
jumped up.
Hey,
She's
whoever was
co-hosting the
speaking,
panel.
she gave
Just
the mic
jumped
to
up and
whoever was
started
speaking last to
giving
speak for another
commands.
1 minute, bro.
I allow her to
Continue.
moderate. She can moderate. Let her moderate,
Yes,
and
bro.
she can
Y'all
moderate.
gotta go according to what she said, though. She just said whoever was speaking last speak for a minute. Whoever was speaking last speak for a minute.
Nobody needed
Yeah,
her to say that, man. Go
I'm
ahead,
She
happy
was
Bro,
with that.
shut
moderating, bro. You
up,
need to show
bro.
some respect, dude. For real.
On TV,
Show
bro.
some
You
respect,
annoying
bro.
still.
man. Y'all weak dudes, man.
All
You
right,
weak,
bro. All
dude.
right, let us
Go
be
ahead.
weak.
Go
Then get
ahead.
off the panel.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you
Get
can
off the
leave.
panel. Go get some education, man. You don't know what you're talking
Bro,
about.
you are an
Education
idiot,
from
bro.
a
You just
dumbass
sit up
like
here and
you,
try to
bro.
postulate you come from
Sad
some
motherfucker.
Mississippi
Postulate.
tribe
You don't know what
and
you're
that
talking
you in
about, man.
America,
What
you are the
man?
progenitor of people on the
Tell me the
continent
name of
that have the
Africa.
most genetic, the
Bro,
most
get
Tell
your
me the
dumb
biological
original
ass
name
out
of
of
diversity
here,
on the
bro.
Africa.
planet.
Tell
Dude's
me
an
the
idiot,
original
bro.
name of Africa. Tell me.
But there is no
Original
original
to who?
name
You
because
dumb fuck.
the concept is
So
not
there's
it's
no
not.
original name of America either.
Bro,
Your
this
argument
dude is
falls
Nah,
just a
short.
there is no
dumbass,
original
man.
name of America because you have to prove that there's a concept that there was a
There
continental
is a
concept
concept. You just
before
don't
they had
know.
it.
You
Prove
just
it.
don't
Prove
know.
that there was a
Hold
continental
on.
concept. You
Hold
cannot
on,
do
Africa
hold
that.
on.
was called
Hold
Asia.
on.
Bro,
Why can't
could we
people
get back
why
on
can't people
track?
follow the
It was called Asia. You don't know what you're
Why
talking
can't
John,
people
about.
follow the
I think
rules,
Johnny,
bro?
you was
Could we
speaking,
get back
bro.
on track without this
I
Okay,
think
dumbass?
okay.
she said whoever
One
was
second,
speaking
one
last
second,
speak for 1 minute.
guys.
When you
1
can
second.
follow the rules,
Hold
who's
up,
the thing
hold
jump
up,
there called
hold
M?
up, hold up. Just wait. Sister, you moderate, please, guys. Just have
She
some,
gave the
okay.
directive, man. Why do
Thank
y'all?
you.
She gave the directive to whoever was speaking last speak for a
Okay.
minute.
Who she gave the directive to?
Whoever was speaking last.
Okay, whoever
I
was
think it
speaking
was
last, have
Johnny.
the mic. Johnny, go on, Johnny. It's your turn. Go on.
No, I was pretty. I don't know if y'all could hear me, but I was pretty much done with what I had to say. I was just laying
I
down the
thought
stuff
so.
about.
All right,
Yeah, I'm good.
cause he direct unless somebody else wants to speak now, because he addressed me directly. I like to respond to his nonsensical postulate.
Okay, go on.
So what the dude is just he's an outright idiot. Anybody
No,
who comes
not do
on
that.
here,
Don't do that.
no,
Don't do that.
he's let me be respectful. I don't know any respectful way to call someone with an idiot, but I
Just
mean
attack the point. Be objective.
Okay, thank you.
point. I'm going to,
Be a
but
man,
I
bro.
have to categorize what the person is.
Talk,
Anybody
talk to somebody like a
he's
man,
talking
okay?
about academics. Nobody that's a
Talking to
scholar
people
would take
like a
anything that he
little
just
boy.
said serious. Who
Show
is
some
speaking,
respect, man.
bro? Who is speaking?
Pharaoh.
Oh my!
Okay, let's do it like this, yeah.
Like you
Pseudo
tried to
idiot.
slander me last time.
I'm
Another
getting
You tried
pseudo
to
headache.
idiot.
slander me last
All
I'm
right,
time.
getting
so
headache.
back to what
I
I
am
was
getting
saying.
headache.
Back
Talk
to
like
what
a
I was
man.
saying. Back to what I was saying,
Stop talking like a little dumb boy.
Okay.
bro. Back to what I was
Oh
saying,
God.
bro. Like
Okay.
this internet is
I'm
overrun
gonna
with
make your points.
idiots,
I'm
bro.
gonna make your points. Then
Like I was
Pharaoh
saying,
can
bro,
go after you,
no
please.
Be a
geneticist,
man.
no anthropologist, no historian
Hmm.
would take anything that
Yeah.
these people are saying serious. Anybody that comes
No.
on here postulating that they're the progenitors, somebody from quote unquote America is a progenitor of anything on the continent is crazy. Now he tried to address, I guess he addressed me saying that I don't know why he brought up the etymology of Africa. I've always said that Africa is etymologically opaque. Nobody knows the direct etymology. There's multiple sources of it. That's not even my
Hmm.
point of saying it. I'm saying embrace your organic cultures that you directly created. Nobody came over
Right.
here and decided that they were Americans that come from our stock. Now you people that's over here talking about y'all are aboriginal, which is just nonsense.
My
You cannot
father's a
empirically
Mississippian. He was born in Mississippi. What you talking about?
it doesn't matter. You cannot
Okay.
empirically prove that you come from no United States in any sense or form
The
past
United
being
States
brought over
didn't
here to
own
be worked.
Mississippi until the Louisiana Purchase.
No. 1
Okay,
second. You've
so
spoken
what
plenty.
haplogroup, what ghost haplogroup is do you come from that are these progenitors of these Africans that come from the United States or the quote
AOO.
unquote Americas? And
AOO.
how long has
Haplogroup.
this line been here? And
Haplogroup.
why doesn't your genetic diversity on this
Look,
on this
let me answer
land
you.
match the genetic diversity in Africa, which would denote that you're a progenitor?
Haplogroup AOO precedes Africa by 300,000 years.
Okay.
Okay. So now
Ngola.
that you've expressed that, which is nonsensical as far as
Look it up.
people of quote unquote African descent that are supposed to be Native Americans have that in mass. Now that you have postulated that, explain to me how the majority of the people that are claiming to be quote unquote FBA or indigenous to this land have that haplogroup directly, and cite me to a scientific study from a reputable scientific journal. please.
I said Mississippi, and I said nothing about Siberian Native Americans.
Not again. Okay, so show me a study. Show me a study that displays that this haplogroup is prevalent within the majority of the people that are claiming to be FBA. Show me a peer-reviewed article and
I will
from
tell
a
you this.
scientific journal.
I will
Cite
tell
the
you
source,
this.
please.
When I did my research, they say
Cite your
Dumbass, you don't know
source.
what research
Nah, the
is,
talking
man.
is cheap, bro. Cite your source and direct me to the study. I don't care about your research you did on the internet, bro.
Most FBA
Dumbass.
doesn't have a DNA test. We're not our database. They haven't really did our DNA
Oh my god,
database
bro. You
to
bro,
be
you
able to say
bro,
that.
you are a complete idiot, bro.
I wish I
Honestly.
would have went in on this clown earlier, man.
Sorry, guys.
But I would say this.
Pharaoh,
But I would
listen.
listen. I would say
Guys,
this.
one mic. Pharaoh, it's your turn. Pharaoh, Mesraim, it's your turn, sir.
Yeah. I was just saying that. Yeah, you ain't got to call the man an idiot, man. Just be a man. Talk. You know, have a man conversation with people, man. We know everybody on here is grown, bro. Yeah, so we ain't gotta slander each other like that, man. But yeah. Now to answer your question about the word Africa, you know, I myself, I am a historian, and I appreciate history. So I'm not biased like some of these other guys, but you know, and I accept what the ancient Greek texts say and what the ancient texts say. And Africa, to answer your question, the name of Africa before it was called Africa, the name was Libya. Yeah, it was called Libya. So yeah, that's my stance on that because I have no bias towards any ancient text. See, a lot of these guys, because they look at the Greek text and all, they would say, well, the ancient Greek, that's the white man and all that. But yeah, but I have no bias to that because I don't see the ancient Greeks as the white man. I see the slave masters who enslaved us here in America. I see them as the white man. Okay, I see the English language is the language of the white man. Okay, so you can't put the ancient Greeks in the same category as our slave masters here in America.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick.
No, 1 second. Let him finish. Then you can ask.
Go ahead.
But that's how I see it because I'm a student of history. You know, I follow the ancient historians. You know, from the Medu Neter, or the hieroglyphics, from the ancient Assyrian text, from the Greek to the Latin, and when it comes to my identity and my nationality, I have no faith in the white man's English or the slave master's English. So that's why, you know, I don't have that bias, you know, and that's why I tell these brothers, you know, put away your bias, learn the ancient language, you know, stop making up lies, learn the ancient Greek, learn the Latin, but learn some other language besides English. But yeah, but that's my take on that. Africa was called Libya.
You do know that Latin is a large part of the quote unquote Anglo-Saxon lexicon. You know that, right?
Well, what's that?
So
you do know that Latin is a large part of the quote unquote Anglo-Saxon lexicon. You know that, right?
So one mic. The great diaspora, it's your turn, sis.
I want to ask a question.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard the theory that Africa was called Mauritania, the land of the Moors? I done came across that also.
Yeah.
Okay. I will answer. Let's make this quick. Right?
Like
Mauritania. I answered briefly. The Moors. No, Africa. The Moors had nothing to do with the continent. See, that's why
I said the name Mauritania.
Embarrassing, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, that's why you have to.
Because you have a country named Mauritania, but I came across research that the whole continent at one point was called Mauritania.
There wasn't any majority, especially these time frames that y'all are talking about. Dude said Libya. There's no evidence. There's no primary source. There's no historian that will tell you that any person that was Greek went past the Sahara. The only people that are quote unquote in prehistory that are quote unquote said to have even thought about going past and going to sub-Saharan Africa was the Phoenicians. Anybody outside of that, no. It's calling something Libya because that's the only part of the continent that they have ventured to. Even the term of Ethiopia, of Greek Ethios, meaning the burnt face, they had only gotten to the really to if you want to say the tip of him, y'all, they didn't go past that into sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes,
There
yes,
wasn't
they
any
did. Yes, they did.
there isn't any
You don't know what you're talking
prehistorical
about.
concept of
Can
them
you
one
speak
Okay.
language?
continent because
Can you speak language?
there
You
wasn't
can't
any
speak
single
language.
continental
All,
concept.
If we had asked
Like
all
you
you know
All
is
right.
one,
English language.
this whole
One
All you
mic.
argument
know
was
is
One mic.
slave masters English language. So let me explain to the brother. Okay, yeah. Concerning your question about Mauritania, yeah, that's why I said you have to know the language, because when you know the language, you will know that Mauritania or the Moors was never applied, was never called a continent. It was a tribe. It was a nation. Okay, you have to distinguish a nation from from the continent. So what I'm saying is the Moors, yes, they were a nation or a tribe in Africa, but it was never Africa or the continent. They were
Okay.
just a particular
Okay.
tribe. Yeah,
Okay. I mean,
they was
yeah.
a tribe in Africa that lived directly across from Spain, what is known today as Spain. They were the people who live right across from Spain in the northwest tip
you
of
see,
Africa.
the fall of
Yeah.
Carthage, most of the knowledge was
Let,
lost after the fall of Carthage.
let's not dwell on this. So yeah. Okay. I got my own. I hold my own. My own observation on that. I can go into that later on. But I mean, it's great of the diaspora. If you're not ready, can Ola speak after you? Are you there? Ola Kidola, it's your turn, sir.
Yeah, I'm here, but you can skip me. I'm
Uh,
waiting for Dinus because y'all not talking about shit.
no,
So
you
go
can.
ahead.
It's your turn. It's your turn to speak.
Oh yeah. Thank you, brother.
Mhm.
Thank you. I was just watching the Norwegian player that went to Texas Cowboy shop to buy some Saturdays playing up. Okay, you see, what I said before, yeah, Africa. This problem of people denying their African descent is not only just tied to the United States alone. I swear to God.
Mhm.
Only that why US tone is kind of like busted because they are over YouTube and claiming all these things, You might just
Mhm.
listen to them, just let it pass. I've seen a lot of some African descendants actually be who also said because they have some mixture with Hindustan, some of them even with Pakistan, and
Mhm.
and and they will tell you straight, oh, I've Pakistan in me or I've Indian in me, just because their
Mhm.
hair look different or they look different. And by
Mhm.
say started telling them about how do your skin become so dark like this? Oh, those oh yeah,
Mhm. Are you breaking up, Ola?
Is he break? Did he just start go quiet?
You cut out, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
hear me? Oh, you
Yeah, you
hearing me?
good
Yeah.
now. You went out.
You
Yeah.
hearing
Yeah.
me?
Go on. Yeah, we can hear you
So
now. You was breaking up.
so this tie of anything is not just tied to Africans, to the people that live in United States. I'll give you as an example. There's a guy, there's this is even a guy that I come across. He was, because he said in school what they taught them is, oh, Tango, you're not hungry, because there's only African people that are hungry. And until she met one Nigerian guy, he dated this Nigerian guy, and he was surprised that all what they were telling her, but he was kind of like studying this guy, but she now made a mistake, said something. The guy now look at her like, where do you get that shit from? That will lead to the breakup of the Nigerian guy just quick break up the relationship with her, said, go. She really regretted it. She said, but it's not her fault. She was being taught in school that African people are hungry, there's always in war, there's all of these things. I was just listening to her, I can understand.
Mhm.
Some of them, they would tell you something else than because of the what they show Africans to be Tarzan, and other things. One thing I would like to ask these Black Americans. I grew up watching Good Time. Is JJ JJ in that Good Time, and that lady in that Good Time, and the man in that Good Time? Where are they from, really? Are they African descendants, or are they native?
You could tell phenotypically.
I think you're breaking up. So, Ola, I think you're breaking up. I'll pass the mic to the comeback.
I said, I started watching Good Time, right? A long time ago. I saw a guy called JJ Walker. I didn't even know that girl, the little girl that was even that woman, that singer, Janet Jackson. In the time when they were showing those programs, right? I want to know because some of them said they don't have African. Don't get me wrong. Michael was also this. Michael was also running from Africa, also as African descendant. That's why he went to. He liked people like Dana Ross, Elizabeth Taylor, and all these people. But he was seeing himself special, so and he was also hanging up a lot with Latino. Even Jane is secretly married to a Latino man. That would tell you that they don't want nothing to do with the darker skinned Black Americans. So for me, I'm not shocked. What I'm hearing from them now, I'm not shocked about it because I've already.
Okay, yeah, I know. I hear you, Ola. Ngolo, you said something, brother. Thank you.
No, I said he asked a question. I didn't know if it was rhetorical or not, but they clearly
No. Yeah, ask a question. Yeah, ask a question. Is the man a good time, right?
Yeah.
Are they African descendants or are they Native American?
Yeah, clearly, everybody you listed clearly comes from Africa. No other region on the planet produces that phenotype. So,
see, I don't agree with that phenotype being originally from Africa because we have people from Australia who have their own like that. They're classified as a whole different species of human beings in Australia, and they have like black skin. So
they don't have the same cranial metrics. They don't have the same phenotype. They don't have the same genotype.
The cranium is called Australozoid. We have the Negroid cranium,
they don't
the
have
Mongolian
the same
cranium,
and the
Caucasoid cranium.
I mean, one mic, and I think Ngolo is your turn. Then obviously Johnny.
Yeah, I know it is. Dude, just going to come with some pseudo nonsense. But yeah, I like what you were saying. Ola is true, bro. Like that's when people be coming up on here and be talking about all of this quote unquote strong African American culture. I just be like, what are y'all? I don't see what y'all be talking about, bro. Like African American culture is slave culture. Let's be honest, bro. Like
so
there's some good things, but majority of the culture, bro, is dysfunctional.
And I'm talking about colonial culture. Y'all been colonized. How you gonna talk down about somebody for being slave?
Brother, I'm not talking to you, so please don't interrupt.
I'm talking about my culture.
Emmy, you're gonna come after Johnny. You're gonna be the last. You can interject then. Okay, thank you.
No, I'm having some audio issues right now, so I can't really hear everybody.
Log
in and log back in.
In a vacuum, it's not just.
Nah. Dynasty's not here to let me back up if I log out. I'm just trying to see.
Okay.
But go ahead, Mr. Angola.
That's not my name. But anyways, like I was saying, but it's not just African American culture though. That's quote unquote dysfunction. But the people that like what you were saying, Africa, this strong culture, brother. Functionally, it doesn't operate like that. Yes, we are persevering people. We do contribute individually a lot of great things, but collectively, when you look at how our culture operates, it's very extremely counterproductive, and that's not to any fault of our people. It's just we've been so much influenced by the European to where it's the things that we adopt are going to be intrinsically counterproductive because their culture does not flow well with us, and majority of our culture comes from them just because of the interaction that we have had. We do have our own quote unquote African spices on it, but for the large part, it's not productive culture. If you look at like just even a marriage right, like there's no traditional marriage rights since we've been over here. People be talking about jumping the broom. Black people today don't even really jump the broom no more. Like everybody want a white wedding, going to Greece and having all these destination weddings. Like the culture is not what people be trying to make it to be, bro. And to be honest, bro, you're gonna find somebody that's African American and doing anything. They're gonna be doing yoga, talking about chakras in India somewhere. They're gonna be trying to be doing kung fu with Chinese. Then you're gonna find them trying to be Arabs with Muslims. Then you're gonna trying to be the Seventh-day Adventists, bro. It's like there is no real cultural root. And that's a lot of that in the United States is our problem. That's why we fall victim to a lot of that's why we can't practice cooperative economics for the most part. We allow people, it's just not strong culture. So I'll let somebody else talk.
I would say this
Okay.
to respond to
Yeah,
Angola.
Johnny, have you fixed your mic yet, or are you still struggling?
No, I
But
can't hear nobody except you, bro.
I would say this though in response to
Okay,
Angola.
okay. But one second
According,
before you do, but 1 second before you do, John Zola, I can see you on the chat. Salute. Thanks for the support. Nice to see you there, boss. Okay, thank you. Go.
all right, so Angola, according to what I heard you say a couple of days ago, that you're Burkina Faso. Is that true?
I don't know what being Burkina Faso is. That doesn't make grammatical sense.
You don't really understand our culture. Like your family is not really from the slave trade. You don't really know about the quilts. You don't know about our real culture. You just seeing it from the outside looking in. What you call European culture, you're basically saying we're just a combination of slaves, Europeans, and Africans. What you consider what their culture is actually our culture. You just think it's European culture. When they came here, they was broke, dusty, had no food, eating each other. We taught these people how to eat, how to dress, how to go to most of these schools. The college education, the college curriculum comes from HBCUs that we developed after slavery. We built the colleges while we were in slavery, Yale University, Princeton, Harvard, University of North Carolina. So this is our actual culture, the things that you call European. What did they bring here? Most of the American English come from Black Americans. They didn't even bring these words over here. So you don't really understand our culture because you're not of it. You just making a survey because your family don't really know the nuances because you from Africa. Like my family is straight from the South. So it's things that I know that you possibly couldn't know, even though we might live in the same city. My mother is from Arkansas. My father's from Mississippi. My grandmother's from New Orleans. So it's things that I could get just by being around them and learning from my mother telling me stories that you just would never get watching TV or watching
What
Good
are the
Time.
traditional marriage rights in quote unquote African American culture that were practiced in antiquity that have been passed on today that are still practiced by the majority of African American people?
We got married on slave plantations.
Like, excuse me, you did. That's not a substantive answer to my question. I said what traditional marriage rights were practiced in antiquity by your quote unquote indigenous African American culture that are still practiced today by the majority of African Americans.
Most African Americans don't even get married. We've been destroyed since the 70s. So what do marriage got to do with anything?
Yeah, I rest my case.
How would I know about marriage rights if I'm not even married? That's crazy. So marriage rights, you see what I'm saying? I'm not married. What is that? It's like colonialism. What did you know before colonialism? Everything you got came after the Europeans came to you. And you didn't even get schools until like what? Liberia started building schools in Africa? What schools did the Europeans build other than the lady gonna say University of Ghana,
This is nonsense.
Other than that, what do you have other than that?
So, Em, are you interested
So the lady can
in
speak for
building?
herself. So the lady can speak for herself. You mentioned HBCUs. My master's degree in African study come from an HBCU. So what's the issue now?
Who built the HBCU? Did the Europeans build it? Or did the Black people build it?
That's not the point. You just mentioned something and you tried to weaponize HBCUs towards somebody else. So make your point.
I said that our culture involves education, it involves fashion, it involves food, it involves everything that you claim is great in America that is attributed to Europeans. We even built the PWIs, the Ivy League colleges that the Africans come over here and brag about. I went to Harvard, I went to Yale. Who you think built those schools? Did a European build those? Who built the White House? How do we learn architecture and an engineering and a land survey and to build these schools that could stand for 300, 400 years if we had no culture? We still have a city.
Brother.
We have a city that we took our knowledge to Liberia and built this amazing city that the Africans can't even do nothing with because they don't know what to do. So how is your culture superior than ours? You don't know what to do with the infrastructure that y'all ran us out of there and left it in shambles. We brought that education, that infrastructure, that knowledge to Africa, not the Europeans. Because if the Europeans brought infrastructure, they would have built up the countries they colonized. They brought nothing. So you're saying Europeans and Africans. The Africans brought nothing to America. The Europeans brought nothing. The only common denominator is us.
Brother,
when we go to Africa, we build things. That's our culture. We built these schools. We built the Capitol building. Who built the Capitol building? Who built the White House? Not a European. Not one Mexican worked on that building. Not one African. It was all Black Americans who at
Okay,
the
okay,
time slaves.
brother. Tell me this then. Okay, if y'all did all that, then why are y'all not the governors, mayors, and presidents of America?
I mean, during
Okay.
Reconstruction, we was the governors at point, but this is like we still dealing with oppression. What you talking about? We was slaves.
All governors,
We
all mayors,
just got
presidents,
partial
all
freedom in
presidents are
1964
white
with the Civil Rights
Europeans.
Act.
They're
And then
white
they start.
Europeans.
I mean, regardless of
There
that,
were no
like
Black, indigenous, Native American presidents, governors, none of that.
listen. Before Rhodesia was Zimbabwe, they was ran by white Europeans. Before Nelson Mandela got out of prison, they was ran by white Europeans. Just like Nigeria before they got independence.
One second.
This is domination. What you talking about?
You need to be on
Can I
somebody's
ask you
top,
one
brother.
second? Yeah, 1 second. Okay. I mean, everyone has
This dude's a
spoken.
clown, man.
Look,
There's no other way to
look.
put it now.
I mean, I live in
We've been
the
listening to
UK.
him
I
all the
live in
time.
the
We get it.
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
Africa
I mean,
was
I
under
live in the UK.
colonial rule for a long time, and they was ran by white
1 second.
Europeans.
What's your point,
In all
bro?
fairness, you guys.
Just
Let me
because
just make
you're
a
under
point.
domination don't mean you don't have a culture.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you
we
hear
don't
me?
have a culture.
Okay. So, I mean, I live in a city. I live in the UK, right? One of these cities, one of the most prestigious cities in the UK, was built by a black guy from Libya. He was a African. He was a dark skinned Tuareg from southern Libya. Does that mean black people, can claim that they built the entire UK? Sometimes we got to be, of course, yeah, but it was forced labor, and also the way African Americans, constructed things. It wasn't, voluntarily. It was a forced labor. So we need to, look at these things. And also, yeah, of course, African Americans are very gifted people. I've seen what they done in Sierra Leone and Liberia. When they worked with the Europeans,
You know
they
what?
actually managed to. No, 1 second. Let me finish. Okay,
Go ahead.
I see what they managed to achieve. Okay, that's fine. I can't take that from them. But don't forget, also Africans have also built empires before Europeans. I mean, you can go back to Spain, like during the Almoravid days. You keep going on to Spain and going back to Spain. During the Almoravid days when the Berber Tuaregs, my ancestors, the Fulani and the Soninke and these people on the West African coast went uh, to the area called Al Andalusia today, um, when they where they actually managed to establish, one of the most advanced enlightenment, like in technology, learning, and basically advancing our mindset, and basically teach them different kind of things, which is actually still known to be the learning point of Western Europe. When it comes to modern day, this came from African people. And go back to the Ghana Empire. You can go back to the Mali Empire. You can go back to the Oyo. You can go back to the Benin Kingdom. And so on. So the Africans have built. Black people have built in general. We cannot just, write ourselves out. So we are all we know that. But having to set us one, we having to say, oh, Black Americans against Africans, Africans against Black Americans, that doesn't fit right with me. You see, it doesn't.
Nobody
That's the
was
problem.
against Africans until they came talking greasy and talking down like this Angola guy talking about our culture is slave culture and European culture. He don't even want to acknowledge that we have like contributions and our own unique or organically grown culture. It's not just slave and Europeans. We're not just a mixture of slaves, Europeans, and Africans.
Yeah. I want to address the brother. Okay, now, brother, here's what you got to understand. Okay, the Native American Indians were defeated and
I
conquered.
never mentioned Native American Indians and none. I said Mississippians.
The Native American Indians were defeated and conquered by the Europeans. Okay, because those Europeans, they come from a region where empires were, where they had wars and conquests. Okay, and they came over here in America and they kicked your butts. Okay, they kicked the Native Americans' butt and stole their land. Okay, that's what
they also kicked the French butt and killed their whole monarchy in Europe. They killed the whole monarchy of France and inside of Europe.
Let him make his point.
What I'm saying is, Black people, you gotta stop selling yourself short. Okay, you have to reclaim your greatness, reclaim your power. Okay,
Yeah.
because you're selling yourself short when you say you're a fake Native American. Okay, these
Right.
people, these Native Americans, these Chinese, Japanese, Indians, whatever you want to call, man, when you claim your real ancestors and get back to your greatness, these people got nothing on you. These people are
Nothing.
beneath you.
Absolutely
They are beneath
nothing.
you.
Because you're more
Africans don't
organic.
know what to do with
You're
that
more
land, man. They
you're
look what
more organic.
Africans did
No,
to
no, no.
Liberians. Like, look
I
what they
disagree.
did.
Look, listen. If you want, listen. I fully support African Americans to one day go and reclaim what is righteously theirs in Liberia. I don't listen. I'm with you. We can have a conversation about Liberia another
They
time. Trust me.
destroyed that
I'm
country.
with you. I'm with you. I agree. There's nothing I can disagree on that. But to go, one thing I don't understand about African, people, West Africa. Where this when you're talking about earlier, this is called Libya. West Africa were known as kingdoms. The region in West Africa, we were known to create kingdoms, empires, dynasties, and so on. We were known for that. We were the creators. You can come to Europe. Most of the people that you see today who are royal families in Europe are the remnants of those that came during the Almoravid and the Moors and the Almoravid. These are the remnants of those. Okay, I mean, let's come to the UK as we speak. Okay, let's come to the UK as we speak.
But why is the
And
Africans? Why are they stealing all the money? Like Nigerians stole $600 billion. Like, why are they a bunch of thieves?
We're not talking about that right now. We're not talking about that.
Why
Right
are
now.
they a bunch of thieves and
No,
criminals
but
and scammers?
we're not talking about that. Right? Don't deliver the conversation. When we're talking about, for example, most of the royal family, like in the UK, they say, oh, the if you ask the English people here in the UK, I'll give a good example of that, right? They say, oh, the royal family, they came from German, they came from the German. But then when you actually dig deep inside, what they don't tell you, that German side of the royal family of the UK is a mixed race woman called Charlotte, the Princess of Hanover. She was a Portuguese Moor. She was a mulatto woman, mixed race woman, okay, who gave birth to the current royal family of the UK. Most of these people were remnants of the Moors and the Almoravids, okay, and this where West Africans were righteously participants of those, empires and those kingdoms. They was there. In fact, they were the forefront of it before the Arabs came and make them less relevant. So
So you
our history,
you talking about hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about
no, but
today. Today,
okay,
Africans are
you
stealing
was
all
the
of the
same
money, man.
person.
That's the problem,
You was
brother.
the same person. You was the same person that was talking about history earlier, but now it doesn't suit you. You want to talk about today.
I
Stop
mean,
shifting the
I
goalpost,
compare
brother.
everything to right now, like what we're doing
No,
right
but no,
now.
you was talking history earlier. Now you're shifting the goalpost.
Because
Let's stop
the
doing
guy
this.
talking about we
Because
don't know nothing
you was
about the
talking
original
about
American.
how you
I
were
say
saying how
Africa
African Americans
is not
ruled
the real
America.
name either.
Now we shifted to the Africans. Now you're talking about
You
how
talking about some
let's
British
not talk
royal
about the
family? Like,
Africans.
what does that got to do with anything?
No, but it's got to do with the lineage of the people who actually,
We're talking about
managed
Africans
to
and Black
expand
Americans.
their knowledge. Yeah, you're talking about all of it. So yeah, exactly. So you don't want
We're not
you
talking
don't
about
want to
no
hear the greatness.
Europeans.
You don't want to hear the greatness of the Africans, but you want us to hear the greatness of the Americans.
Why would we
And you
want to
don't
talk
want to
about
hear
the
the
greatness of the Africans and Europeans who colonized and enslaved everybody? Like, how is that great?
no, but also the greatness of African Americans should be hard. The greatness of Africans should be hard because
The Africans want to tell everybody that we went to Africa and enslaved the Liberians because we had them building roads and train railroads. Like, how do they think a road and a railroad track and schools is going to get made if nobody do the work? That's because they was put to work. They want to say they was enslaved. Now all of a sudden when we gone, oh, we hard workers, y'all the Cree people. First y'all didn't want to work. Now you talking about you do work, yet you're doing nothing. Like, okay,
Liberia was a
they say
sad
because we
spot.
had them working in order to build these structures and this infrastructure, it requires manpower. Just
I
because
did not
you're
support.
working
Listen,
don't mean you're a
listen,
slave. Just like they say we enslaved them and had them building all the roads and clearing out the rubber trees in order to make cities, and they say that was slavery. How do you think it's going to get done?
I am with you in some aspect of what you're talking about when it comes to Liberia.
But they want to say we enslaved the Liberians, and so it was like we purchased them and then forced them to build cities. In order for them to build cities, whoever's around, they got to do the work. It's not like you're
Well,
a slave just because you
Liberia
have to.
should be a topic. Liberia should be a topic of and for another day. Yeah, I'll pass the mic. Someone else. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a Pharaoh. I'll bring the mic back to you. I mean,
yeah.
griots of the diaspora. Do you still want to speak, sis?
Uh, but yeah, brother.
No, go ahead, Pharaoh.
Go ahead, sister. Yeah. But what you got to understand
No,
that,
I don't
brother.
feel comfortable, sis. If you're, I feel like, I feel very uncomfortable. I think it's your turn. You should have the
No,
mic.
I'm clear. I'm clear. My presence isn't welcome here. I'm just waiting for Dynas. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
your presence is welcome. Ain't nobody say that, man. It's
Yeah,
just dude. You can talk, sister.
I mean,
Talk.
she tried to take
yeah,
power
Yeah.
and start talking curse words, and all of a sudden she's like, I don't know.
Bro, there's something wrong with you, man.
Yeah.
Right. Because I
No,
said
y'all,
that.
Yeah.
there's something wrong with
Right.
y'all, man. You ain't got no
Oh, bro, you
scholarship. You
got some type of
talking up to
conflict, bro. Like,
you the
So,
authority
you
on
let
come
me
black
on
see.
the
culture,
internet to vent, bro.
and you a
I want
whole
to
You
hear what
need
the
to
African.
sister
go
have
see a
to say.
psychiatrist for real.
You a whole African talking down about somebody
You
else's
need to,
culture. You don't know nothing
brother, you
about our
need to go
culture.
see a psychiatrist, brother. There's something really wrong with you, bro.
It's
Real
something
talk.
wrong
I'm
with
not even
you.
being funny. Don't tell you like
You
that.
don't know
Griot,
nothing
Griot,
about us, man.
Yeah, bro.
I pass the mic to
Let
you,
the
sis.
sister talk, bro.
I ain't stopping her from talking.
yeah. She said she's busy doing something, so I
Nah,
think she
but
can't
she
talk.
Are
said
you
her
are you
presence.
busy?
She feel like her presence ain't welcome. Donnie said he want most sisters to come here and talk. So we need to stop. If she want to talk, let her talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother. She just said she can't talk. Okay, you need to
She said
listen.
she
It's
can't.
cool. Go ahead, Pharaoh. I said I'm waiting for Dynas because
Yeah,
that's clearly the person that's only
yeah.
one. So
Thank you,
go ahead, Pharaoh.
thank you.
All right.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
wait for
yeah,
Dias to
yeah.
come. He got the link. Yeah, go on,
Okay, yeah,
Pharaoh.
brother.
But yeah,
What
Dinah's
you got to
allow these
understand is,
Africans to denigrate
brother.
us all day. Like, why do he do that? Why do he let these Africans talk down about his own people like that? That's crazy. I wouldn't want that type of legacy. I wouldn't
But
want that
Why
legacy
you keep coming on here then?
because somebody got to be over here to be the representative of my people. Obviously,
You
it's
doing
not
a
Dinah's.
horrible job.
You don't know what's going on
You
because
make
you're not
your
one of
people look
us. Like, why are you
stupid.
pretending and
You make your
cosplaying
people
like you
look
one of
stupid,
us? You a
bro.
whole African, man. You don't know nothing about us at
What you
all.
mean cosplaying? What are
You
you
don't know
talking about?
nothing about our culture. You an African. Why are
Look,
you talking
brother,
about us? Talk
I
about
don't.
Burkina Faso.
It don't even matter. All that don't
You
even
know
matter, bro. You
nothing.
talking about you represent your
Answer
people.
this.
You
Answer
make your
this.
people look stupid.
5% of the Africans went to North America. Dispute that.
No, who said who? First of all, it's a longer voyage. That's a fact. That's a
They
historical
all
fact.
went to Africa. They all went to South America and the Caribbean. A small
Majority
percentage
of
came to North America.
the
We are not
population grew
Africans.
exponentially because of the inter-slave trade and all of the breeding
We are not Africans,
plantations they
man,
had.
because most of them went to
Brother,
South
you are
America,
in denial. I
Brazil.
don't even care, bro. You can have your pseudo opinion.
Go to Burkina
It is what
Faso
it
and
is.
talk about them. Why are you talking about us for? You don't know nothing about us.
I don't really care to talk about you, but
And
you like
Dynas
to be
knows
honest.
about us, but he
It
let
is the
y'all talk
topic,
down
bro.
about us all
It's the
day for
topic.
years. Like, why is he letting y'all denigrate his own people like that?
Why you
It
keep
doesn't
coming
make
on
sense.
here if it offends you? No, because you're
Somebody,
not
I
defending
come
them.
on
Because
here because
nobody on here is taking you
I have
serious.
to be an advocate because y'all just talk a bunch of nonsense. Like you
But
said
it's
something
not
about
your advocacy is not
America is not our
effective,
real
bro.
name. Oh, Africa not your real name. Answer that. You don't even know. Oh, there's
Like,
no
who
names. It is
said
a
that?
name. You just don't know it.
Brother,
You
do
don't
you
know
know
it.
how,
Just tell the truth.
brother? Do you know how old the word Mississippi is?
You just looked it up. You didn't know before you just looked it up. It's a lot older than Africa.
Yeah, I did just looked it up. Yeah,
The Mississippian culture, the land, the mound builders.
brother. It only goes back to the 16th century AD.
It goes way behind the 16th century AD. You crazy. You talking crazy.
Yeah, but that's
You talking
based on
crazy.
fantasy and imagination.
The
Okay,
Mississippian culture goes back
when we deal with text
way
and
longer
fact,
than that.
it
I'm talking
goes
about
no further back than the
the
16th
Mississippian
century
culture.
AD.
I learned this in
So
college. What you talking about?
actually, the word Africa is older than Mississippi.
The
1,500 years older than
Mississippian,
Mississippi.
the Mississippian culture goes back
Yeah,
thousands of years.
that's based on oral nonsense.
It's
That's
not,
based
or
on
it's a
oral
whole
fantasy.
entire culture. The
I'm
mound
talking about
builders, they also built.
documented
Guess
facts
what
and
else they
text.
created? They
Okay,
created all of the ball games
based on your
that the
oral
world
fantasy.
enjoys.
The
It's
word
not
Mississippi is
fantasy.
not that old. It's not that old
Mississippian,
when it comes to reality. Okay, when it
Mississippian.
comes to written
So
documented
what you
facts.
trying to
Okay,
prove? What are you trying to prove right now?
look. Based on your oral, based on your oral fantasy, the word Mississippi, it can be as old as you want it to, okay? But when we go by the records, the written records, and what was documented, the
Your
word
Google
is no
search
older
is
than
a confirmation bias.
16th century AD.
Your
Okay,
Google
and
search is a confirmation bias.
the word Africa is 1st century BCE, so it's way older than Mississippi.
Mississippi in culture, fool.
Yes,
America is actually older than the
that's based on
16th century.
your oral
So
fantasy.
how is the Mississippi less old or younger than the American United States that's around 1492? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the word Mississippi, it's not introduced into the text until the 1600s. Okay, and any time before that, you can make it how old
my
you want
quick
to make
Google
it.
search says between 800 AD and
1,000,000
600.
years old.
Listen. My
Because
Google
you want to go
search
by your
says,
oral fantasy and your
listen,
oral imagination, you can make it 1,000,000 years old. Okay,
listen.
but
My
when we go
Google
by the
search
facts,
says,
we go by the documents, the word is no older than the 16th century AD. And the word Africa is way older
listen.
than
My
Mississippi,
Google
but we
search,
stick to the facts and stick to the original text.
Listen, my Google search just said between 800 AD and 1600 AD. Then it says 325 million years ago. My little
Yeah.
Google search just said that. We just talking about you looking at the maximum
Where's
number.
that coming
Why
from?
didn't you say
Where's that
800 to
coming
These
from?
$1,600?
conversations make our people look so stupid, bro. Like
You're not
real.
our people. What you talking about? Our people.
I'm talking about black. I'm not saying that you are specifically, but like you as you
That's your
quote unquote
opinion. You
being
ain't
our
got no
people. But
scholarship. Where
I'm
you go
saying
to school at?
from the
You
outside
just let
looking
dude
in,
on
people
live in
would think that
color.
I'm your
Some
people just
prison
because we
babble.
quote unquote black. But bro,
You
y'all,
just
this
prison
pseudo
babbling, man.
intellectualism got to stop, bro.
You
Like
just
you just
prison
coming on
babbling.
here lying and just saying nonsense, bro.
This
Like you
dude
a
just
grown
this
man, bro.
dude has no
These quack
credibility.
theories got to stop,
I
bro.
just Google searched it. It said 800 to 1600 AD. Then it says 325 million years ago the land they was on. So which one is it?
Brother, do you got a
You just
325
babbling,
million year
man.
old text?
Y'all
Do
are
you have
not
a
genuine.
300? Do you have a
You are not
325
genuine,
million
man.
year
Y'all
old
just a
text
bunch
to
of
prove that?
babbling, self-loathing,
Do
and
you
you let the
have a
Africans talk all types of
325
nonsense.
million year old text to prove your Mississippi?
Show me a text to prove you are African. You don't even know the name of Africa. You talking about some Libya. That's in the Bible. That was just a little country. The
Bro,
Libyans was a people fighting
Africa
against the
is a
Egyptians
Latin
in the
word.
Bible.
It's a first century
Latin
BCE
comes
Latin
from
word.
Phoenician. Latin is
Libya
not even a
is a
real
5th
language.
century BCE
Latin,
Greek,
listen, man. The
ancient
Latin
Greek
comes
word.
from the Phoenician alphabet. You don't even know nothing, man. You just babbling.
No, let's just watch how we speak to each other, man. That would be nice.
These dudes, all y'all do is talk down. Only one that talk any type of what do you call it?
Brother,
Objectivity is Africa. The rest of them
everything you
just
believe
talking down
in.
about Black Americans.
Bro,
All
it
y'all
ain't no
do.
objectivity. No, you want people to come on here and
Why don't
lie
you
and
go back to Burkina
placate to the
Faso?
complex, your
If you don't want to
inferiority
be an
complex you
American,
have.
if you don't want to be an American, you don't have to be here. Go
Bro,
back to Africa, man.
all of your
Man,
history
You
look,
say
is fake,
bro.
Africa is
bro.
not a real country. I mean,
Your
America is
history
not a
is fake.
country. If it's a European country, what you doing over here?
That's why the
What do
white
you
man
mean
is
if
What you
it's a
ruling
doing over
ruling
European
here?
America.
country?
That's why he's ruling over you.
There's no
Go
getting
to
away from
Africa,
the
the
sphere of
Roman
influence
Empire
that they
country.
have.
Go
There is
back to
no
Africa,
going no.
man.
There is no. I am, but there is no getting away from the sphere of
You
influence
just
that the
babbling. You
country
don't even
has.
got no scholarship. You talking stuff.
Bro,
You
what are
ain't
you,
even
bro? You
qualified
an
to talk about
idiot.
this stuff.
Bro, the Native Americans are wiped out, bro.
Ain't nobody
Almost
talking about
wiped
the
out.
Native Americans. I said the
The
Mississippians.
Native
You don't even know.
Americans are almost
Y'all just
wiped
a
out.
bunch of
I'm like,
y'all have
The
a
black
real
Africans are
serious
still there.
issue.
1 billion strong.
And I
1
heard when I
billion
was
strong in
listening,
Africa.
Dinus was actually defending this nonsense against Black Americans. Like, what the hell? What's really going on? Why did he let y'all talk crazy about us all day? But I'm done though.
Bro,
you need to
as
go
a
see a
Native American,
psychiatrist.
you got no power, bro.
Look, this is what I'm
Bro,
trying to avoid. You
That's why I'm
know,
YouTube
saying that
is a
y'all
training
have to
silent,
stop
bro.
selling
Real
yourself
talk.
short, man. Because
this one, yeah,
because
go on.
there is power and greatness in claiming in your ancient ancestors and retracing your roots back to ancient empires and antiquity. Okay, and black people, because of slavery, Christianity, religion, we have rejected it. We haven't fully grasped that yet. We haven't claimed that yet. Okay, because we living in a time where people got lazy and people are comfortable in living under the luxuries of white supremacy. Okay, and that's why white supremacy don't want us to claim our ancient greatness, because that's going to bring that energy back up and that movement back up to want to overthrow our to rebel and overthrow our oppressors, because it's going to bring a strength in a rise that has never been brought before. And that's why you have to reclaim your ancient greatness and your ancient ancestors. I don't care if it's going back to Timbuktu, from Timbuktu to Mali to Ghana, all the way back to ancient Kush and ancient Kemet. Okay, those empires are connected. Okay, and it's easy for you to put them down because they're so old and they're long over with. So you're trying to look for a new solution. But yeah, but this thing is real. The ancestors, we have to get the ancestors back on our side.
All right. I agree your mindset. And brother, I'm not gonna lie, I like your mindset because that's exactly what we're trying to explain to the African Americans and the black Africans also, to understand that. We had great empires in West Africa. Absolutely brilliant empires in West Africa to be proud of, to make us feel better, than attaching ourselves to other group of people like Red Indians and so on. It's just it don't make no sense to me, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed.
just so sad.
Real quick.
Yeah, because when
go ahead, bro.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. The sister want to say something. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting, sis. Sorry.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you clear.
Can you hear me? Is it low?
No, you
Yes,
clear.
it's fine.
Okay. So this is the thing that I think is really unfortunate. We were asked multiple times about scholarship. My bachelor's degree is in Africana Studies, which is African American Studies, specifically from San Francisco State University, which is the first university in America to make Black Studies a degree program. My master's is in African Studies from Howard University, which is the first HBCU to make Black Studies a degree program. So I know that doesn't matter in these conversations, right? I think it's really sad because as many Black Studies scholars are literally fighting to make sure that our degree programs are not erased as they are currently being erased in this country. I think it's really disgusting that people are literally saying that Black Studies is COINTELPRO, it's white tea supremacy. It's so utterly disrespectful that people with no credentials got the audacity to sit up here and ask for people credentials. Then when we list the credentials, y'all in the chat talking about degrees don't matter. So when a Black woman has the degrees that y'all ask for, it don't matter. But then you say you need degrees to have a conversation. Y'all got to be a little bit more like, it has to make sense, because it's insane. Because my professors like Dr. Oba Tashaka, who you can look up, who is still alive, who is the one who actually changed the degree program from Black Studies to Africana Studies to be more inclusive to the diaspora. I think it's really insane that we have elders who are literally still alive, who have dedicated their entire lives to the scholarship of Black people. And then the very people who do it, we get disrespected. We get told that we are white people, as they are saying in the chat. African studies was started by Europeans. That's what y'all believe in the chat. But then you want somebody who has a scholarship, who has had to literally fight academic institutions to design our own curriculums. You want me to believe that those of you on random social media accounts are the enlightened ones, and y'all just have some special Anunnaki scholarship, some half angel, half human came down and chose you to tell you what the real history of Black people is? That shit is crazy as fuck. Mr. Sandman, she's arguing for Black women's rights more than Black people rights. Was that supposed to be a read? again, my point, because I know y'all hate black women in these weird ass spaces. It's insane. Again, like I'm supposed to be embarrassed of that. I'm a black woman, so yeah, I'm always gonna fight for that. um, anyway, I think it's insane. And if we are going to have these conversations about scholarship, when people actually have the scholarship, don't try to talk over them. Don't try to ignore it. Don't try to say all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Because if you want to go scholarship for scholarship, we can most definitely do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's why I don't claim to be a scholar or none of that. Because I mean to be real about it, you know, I think the way scholars teach um, is wrong, and I think some of them are crazy out of their mind, you know, because a lot of scholars, you know, they like to, you know, they never they like to say things without sourcing the information. So that's why, you know, I never claimed to be a scholar. I just see myself as a historical researcher. I don't try to place those big titles on myself or none of that, because yeah, I don't sit amongst those guys in the universities. You know, I think they all weird. I think a lot of them pseudo, and I think a lot of them are deceiving our people as well. So yeah, you know, if you're not a scholar or you're not any authority, you know, just you don't have to feel shame about that. You know, anybody can speak on this subject. You know, everybody got the right to speak their opinion. You know, and that's what I see myself as. I don't. That's why I never try to label myself as any top authority. You know, because I mean, a lot of these
that's
guys.
totally fine. The only issue, that's fine, Pharaoh, but the issue is that the people with the degrees were not the ones downplaying the people with the degrees, or not.
Yeah, I just think, bro, the anti-intellectualism, like nobody's saying that a quote unquote scholar is the literal authority, but majority of the people that come on here and talk, it's just blatant. You haven't done the rigorous research to even be qualified to speak on a lot of the stuff you say. And the thing, when somebody has the letters behind their name, they've at least done the rigorous research, and they have solid methodology that they use when conducting research. Majority of the people that come on here and talk, you can tell by the way that they even parse out their points and their postulates. It's not academic, and people just academic is not synonymous with European. These methodologies supersede these people. It's all like your scholarship is all about the methodology.
Hey,
And research.
all right, guys, I'm back. Let's see here. Let me pass the mic to Griot the Diaspora. Griot the Diaspora, you there? Okay, guys, links in the chat room.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I had just finished. I was just responding to the point because scholarship and degrees kept being brought up, and when I listed mine, the response was it doesn't matter. So I was just giving my point on that. Go ahead.
Somebody said M was insulting me.
I mean, he said, why do you let people come on here and disrespect what do you say, Black Americans? And I was like, if you don't like it, I don't know why you come. But
Not you personally, Dennis. He wasn't talking about you personally.
I mean, he technically was
yeah, he did. Excuse me, Dinus. What he said was that you allow Africans to come up here and disrespect Black Americans, and you don't do nothing about it.
But Dennis know that. He already said that when Dennis is here.
Okay.
You know, your M's views is it's no difference. But
all right,
let
me read these super chats. John Zola, thank you for 499 holla. My race is Niger Congo and my ethnicity is Black American. I don't see why those two things have to be in conflict. John Zola, thank you for 99 holla. Why has identity become such a stumbling block for us? We can't acknowledge our African ancestry while also recognizing that Black Americans are a distinct ethnic group with our own history and culture. John Zola, thank you for 499 holla. Rade Nyambani, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop the Afro Spirit group link for Kid Ola and Al. All right, go ahead, man's sake, and after man's sake is hello.
Peace and love to the chat. How's everyone doing? All right.
Everybody's doing all right.
Yeah, we good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, definitely let me add to
to today's topic. Like I was saying, like the other day, you know, my FBA brothers, ADOS, Black Americans, or Heritage of Black Americans, whatever they want to call themselves. You know, they have a right to call themselves whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? My only issue is that the ones that want to identify with Africa, I don't know why they're giving those people like a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Like if they want to identify with Africa, they want to be Hebrews, they want to be Moors, they want to be whatever they like. Let them. If they want to say I'm an ice cream sandwich, let them become an ice cream sandwich. It's not hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? To my brother Ngolo, man, I'm gonna have to slightly disagree with you, man, when you said about Black American culture, man. Just slightly about how because they do have an influence in America and they do set trends. They might not speak like languages and stuff too, you know, but they do set trends in America, you know. But yeah, that's about it to the topic.
No, I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying the functional aspects of culture is not prevalent. That's what I'm saying. It's not their fault.
Yeah, I've been saying that. I mean, because they went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like historically, you know what I mean, they are very like inspirational. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they do have like a lot of influence. But I mean, like I said, I hear what you're saying, but you know, that's why I was just late into, you know.
All right, go ahead. Hello, unmute yourself. Hello, unmute yourself. Hello. All right, go ahead, Big Black.
Give me a second. Can you hear me, Dynasty?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, give me a second. I got to get a mic.
Okay, well, just call back in. All right, only go ahead, only.
I mean, like I said, I hear what you're saying, but you know, that's
only you got to turn off the playback. Only,
you know.
Unmute yourself.
Only, you there? Only, unmute yourself.
I'm here. I'm here.
Go ahead, Big Black.
I'm here.
Only, you got to turn off the playback. You have echo.
Oh, 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. First, I want to say I want to commend the sister for hanging in there. And also, I want to say that we need to have rules on how we talk about it. Because I think people throw in these vitriol on purpose to derail, but they pretend like it's not for derailing. And it doesn't work, number one. And also, I think... yeah, just basically that we need to make rules on how we talk about it. And even if they do want to be, other people want to be whatever they want to be called, they should prove themselves by building. Everyone should be building. That way, if someone is an agent, you know, they won't want to build a school. They won't want to build something for their people. Everyone should be about building for their group. That's all.
No, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we need to focus on the positive side of everything. But, you know, also we need to dig out where we went wrong and how we can move forward. This, you know, I mean, identity crisis is not limited to African Americans. And whoever think it's only African Americans are going through identity crisis in the black world, they've just been deluded. It's a global problem. You know, is happening, you know, with the black people in the diaspora. And also I agree with Mansik. I mean, black American culture, you know, is very influential. Obviously, there's some aspect of it, you know, in there that obviously we wish it can be changed. But then so do some of the African cultures. You know, I hope some of the things that can in Africa can change, like the FGMO, you know, female genital mutilations we've got in Africa. That's absolutely not something that, you know, is commendable in this day and age. So there's so many different things, you know, globally in the black world that we need to fix and modernize and actually, you know, change. You know, nothing is static in this world. It's all about being progressive in the right way. And, you know, sometimes when you listen to some of the people that comes here, you can tell they're not really about being progressive. They want to go backwards, and it's sad. We need to focus on, you know, moving forward, not going backwards.
And to my
But I think
sister,
we've got new guests.
To my sister Griot of the diaspora, man. And I'm sorry that that happened to you because sometimes you got these trolls. They come in the comment section talking like reckless. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a reaction out of someone. So just sorry that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Just pay these trolls no mind because even in the comments they go went on Africa, myself and others talking reckless. So I don't even pay attention to that comment section. But.
Right. Yeah, I think.
All right, go. Well, I guess hello fell off. Hello fell off. Go ahead, Big Black.
Hey, thanks for the show, Diane. This really need, the show really need to happen. Glad you're stepping up. Well, you've been stepping up, but especially, let them know that you're Black American, critical African American, and not FBA. I was thinking about what my sister, the grill said, and there seems to be a correlation, right, to like what she was saying about they're trying to delete our history, right, in the colleges. But at the same time, there seems to be this FBA group that's trying to give us a different history. I think that's no coincidence. You know what I mean? I think FBA is backed by some non-Black people, and it's funny how what she's fighting, in college in this FBA movement is pretty much going on pretty much around the same time. So we need to, maybe need to look more into that. Also, my brother Angola. I could tell when you talk to your African American, and I know you Pan African and everything, but I have to disagree with you on we African Americans do have a culture. I see what you're saying. I know what you're getting at as far as our culture is. We still have our African continuity, right? That came with us that can never be erased. Also, we have been influenced by a lot of European culture. But out of that, we made a different culture. Let's say, for instance, even we can talk about the numbers in Chicago, right? Whereas that didn't come from slavery, but that's something that we uniquely created, right? And had a small little economy in Chicago that actually was stolen from us, And when we was doing it, it was illegal. But after it got stolen from us, they made it illegal, rated legally. Made it legal, right? Like the lottery. So, we do have culture, but it's you're right, it is highly influenced by American culture and, the African continuity that they couldn't take from us no matter what they did to us. But other than that, I agree with you. A lot of things that you said totally.
No, brother, I didn't say they don't have no culture. I'm saying it's just not like the main aspects of culture. I'm saying it's not functional. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. It's been really, as far as like it hasn't been dynamically progressive as far as being functional. The functional aspects of culture. Yeah, we have ancillary aspects of influence, but as far as benefiting the masses, the culture is not. It doesn't do that, and it's not of no fault of our own. It's just being subject to that parasite.
I agree with you to a lot of extent. But you had the Black Power movements that were trying to break those chains, should I say, right? But now when the 2000s, whatever, we have this new ideology, and that's the gift and the curse of the internet, right? Where anybody can get on the platform and say we're anything and spread their nonsense without rigorous review, So, and pretty much that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, you're right.
But I'll pass the mic.
I think it's on you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Africa. Hi, Maseke.
Hi,
Hi.
my sister. Nice to see you, as
Nice to
always.
see you too. Hi, Griot.
Yes.
And
Hello,
hello to
hello,
my
hi.
lovely Black Americans who resonate with me. And anyone else who wants to delineate, I stand firm and I wish you all the best of luck in this world. I've got no problem with anybody at all, even an African some people from different countries that want to be recognized as whatever, as long as you're happy. But what I do not like is peddling of misinformation in the public media, because anything we say here will remain for a very long time for our children to meet. We would like to say things that are factual. And if we don't know anything, like I listen a lot to learn. I don't know everything, but I can tell a misinformation, and that's why I'm here. Not to change your subject. I am from the Igbo tribe. This is not being tribalistic, but as a people that has a culture, if my culture is publicly disrespected,
Are
I
you there,
think,
Helen?
yes, I'm here. Can you
You
hear
was
me?
breaking up, Helen.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
sorry.
back now. You was breaking up, sis.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So I am of Igbo tribe, yeah, from Nigeria, and wherever I am, and my tribe is disrespected by misinformation, you can insult my tribe, the criminal ones. Yeah, why not? I believe in, you know, the law to take its course for equality. But when I see misinformation to destroy, I do not support that, regardless where you come from. So, let me see. Someone paid $20 to peddle misinformation that Igbo language custom origins are from Niger or Niger. Yet they are allowed to claim Nigeria, where they created what is now known as Igbo today. We can accept that, yet not, according to them, an Black American. I'm reading what they wrote, and Black American identity. And for me, that is comical and disrespectful. You can make your research. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody, to convince anybody. If you are who you are, and I am what I am, and I know where I come from, and I know who I am, but I need to put this fact straight, that the Igbo people did not migrate from the modern country of Niger. Instead, they are completely indigenous to the southern eastern region of Nigeria, having lived there for thousands of years. The confusion likely may stem from misunderstanding of linguistic and geographical terms rather than actual historical migrations. The misconception or misunderstanding of Niger versus Niger Congo. That idea that
Yeah,
Igbo
Niger
came from
Congo.
Niger Congo usually
Yeah.
comes from confusing two very different things. Number one, the Niger Congo language is a family or linguistics classified the Igbo
Mhm.
language as part of the Niger Congo language phylum. Yeah, this is a massive linguistic category that includes over 1,500 languages across West Africa, Central and
It
Southern
is the
Africa.
oldest
Same.
oldest language in West Africa. You're right. Yes,
Absolutely.
you're right.
Because we're all
Mm.
interwoven. We cannot
Mhm.
separate one another in Africa. Africa is deep, deeper than anyone can think of. It's not something you can scratch from the surface if you have never been. You cannot even
Mm.
define an
True.
African if you're not inside Africa. I respect you. If you want to delineate, no problem, but don't peddle misinformation to propagate your agenda. It won't work, because no one is a fool. I don't need to tell you guys much, but please make your researches. When people pay $20,
Yep, I know.
$20,
Yep,
it's a waste. It's a
yep.
waste. Why would anyone do that? If you want to delineate, fine. But no one is an island. I respect you, of course. But don't come here and talk down at any tribe, because we are one people in Africa. Try to divide us. Who the hell do you think you are? They're not, because we are not going to be divided. I will fight for any brethren from Africa. I do not care where they come from, as long as they stand tall and they are fair and nice to one another. So as my Black American sisters and brothers who believe, who know who they are, and want to be part of us Africans, please visit Africa no more. Do not let anyone deceive you before you decide where you want to be. I urge you to visit, learn the history more. It's not by force, but tomorrow is pregnant, like we say, you do not know what child is going to give birth to. Thank you very much.
No, well
Okay,
done.
SMH, go ahead.
Hey, guys, can you give me a couple minutes?
Well, just call back in. All right, go ahead.
Who's next?
Yeah, guys, if you guys aren't ready, don't click on the link. Like if you click on the link, be ready to contribute.
Yeah,
No,
it's I think this only spoke. This only spoke, Dennis. I don't know.
Well,
I spoke. I said that we need to establish rules on these type of discussions because I think agents. I'm sorry, but I think they're agents from both sides will try to trigger people with the emotions and with the trigger vitriolic words, and it's up to us to stay above it all. But we need rules.
I mean, honestly, like
right.
you have people here that come just like to troll and just like to just trigger things and derail the conversation, you know. So even if you have decorum and stuff too, you know, you're gonna have people that's going to derail the conversation no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, sis, what you were saying earlier is absolutely true because the thing is, Niger Congo people are the oldest. Niger Congo language is the oldest. People that speak that language are the oldest people in West Africa. And these are the same group of people who you find in the diaspora, majority in America, in South America, in Brazil, you know, and so on. So it is a very, very, very is a marker of who is actually really indigenous to West Africa. And they have nothing to do with Niger. Niger Congo have nothing to do with Niger Republic. It's Niger Congo. It's basically is a fingerprint of West Africa. That's what Niger Congo language is. And most of these people actually now, you know, on the haplogroup, if you look at the haplogroup to their father side, the lineage is actually very similar people. Now you got different type of Niger Congo group. You got the Atlantic branch. You got the
Absolutely.
yeah. You got different branch of the Niger Congo.
Let me pass the mic. Go ahead, Amar. Go ahead, Amar. Amar, go ahead.
Mr. Lover, talk now. Everybody, yeah.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing good.
Yeah, this FBA thing is what I gotta say about it is if people want to de-alienate, I think we need to leave them alone. Let them de-alienate. Okay? If they don't respect science and have absolutely nothing to do with Africa, let them be. You see what I'm trying to say? This whole thing is the white man coming up with these plans. If this FBA thing blows up and gets bigger, that would bring down Black America. Because, you know, the January 6th thing, those people out there are very uncomfortable with the fact that the rednecks lost the Civil War. They're very uncomfortable. So you heard the Charlie Kirk guy. The only reason Black people are out of jobs or Black people have anything in this country is because of favoritism over the white man. These people got their agenda in place. When you keep saying, even Donald Trump, I was born in the United States, and I'm kind of checked out because after they went to the Supreme Court for the 14th Amendment, talk about the only people that's supposed to be American that's Black should be babies of slaves. But when you hear the president say babies of slaves, now when this FBA say I'm not part of Africa, you taking your only thing that could back you in the 14th Amendment, you taking it away from yourself. Trying to hurt us, okay, if you got a personal vendetta against Africans, okay, that's okay. They did you wrong, they did you wrong. But don't shoot yourself in the foot. You gotta survive. So if this the sensible people, the Black Americans, They know doggone well that the only attachment to America is through the transatlantic slave trade. Even Donald Trump said it. The only people that you should be part of the 14th Amendment were babies of slaves, exclusively. The man is going around trying to change the Constitution of the United States, trying to strip away all powers, all benefits. They're trying to strip it away. And your only way is, even according to the President of the United States, is that attachment to Africa? And you shooting yourself in the foot? Go right ahead. The only thing I got to say for all the black people, this is your time to stand your ground. Stand your ground, because truth to be told, it was black people that made it possible for everybody else to come over here and get some rights. It was black people, when they gave black people rights, everybody else was hanging on your coattails. The white man got one job to do. Once he can blow up, if he can blow up Tariq Nasheed, and they go with this narrative like people are not from Africa, the next step is to do the Charlie Kirk thing. Affect their 14th Amendment. That's the next step. The white man got a playbook is bigger than a New York phone book. He got pages and pages of plays that is coming at you. And all he needs to do is to blow up Tariq Nasheed. Once you blow up the Tariq Nasheed and people start propagating that they have nothing to do with Africa, then people on Donald Trump will be like, okay, well, there goes the argument. These people have no attachment to Africa. They don't have no attachment to the 14th Amendment. So what are they doing here? So
right, I agree.
Amar, that's not the case. But go ahead.
No, I know, but what I'm trying to say is, and what I'm trying to say is, when Donald Trump is pushing the fact that nobody else should be American, it came explicit from Donald Trump that the 14th Amendments were made for babies of.
He didn't say that. His argument was, you can't come here illegally and give birth to a baby, and that baby can't.
No, he's trying to say
that was the argument, Amara.
Okay, now that's the interpretation. When you say babies of slaves, that exclusively says people
right.
that came here.
He was saying it was created for the babies of enslaved Africans, but the argument.
That's what I'm saying. So that's your
but Amar, let me finish. But he specifically what was argued was that you can't come over here illegally and give birth to a baby, and that baby could be considered a citizen. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he didn't in his argument, he didn't say people that came in legally and had babies. He was just going across the board and say exclusively it's for people that came through the transatlantic slave trade.
That's not what was said at the court. It's basically birthright tourism, birth tourism needs to end. That's the argument.
I know that makes sense. That's the legal argument. I'm talking about Donald Trump's political argument.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Again, that's Donald. That's Donald Trump. I mean, you gotta.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You gotta dig into the weeds, Amara.
Yeah,
let me. And I'm not trying to get my FBA on. Black Americans, don't allow people like Amara to scare you to think that you're gonna lose your rights.
I'm not trying to scare nobody of losing their rights. I'm just telling you what Donald Trump said. That's what Donald Trump said.
But we're going off what was argued at the court.
Okay, from a legal standpoint, but there's a political angle to it. You can't deny that. That he made it maybe sound bites, but he made that political argument.
But even then, if a Black American claims that he's not African, they can't do nothing to him, Amara. We got to stop this.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying the political. Listen, once you open a Pandora's box, the Charlie Kirks there are several Charlie Kirks in that movement.
What did Charlie Kirk say about the descendants of enslaved Africans and their citizenship? What did he say, Amara?
No, what is said? They didn't say anything about. I didn't know
Okay,
anything.
exactly. We got Amar. We got to stop.
What I'm
This is. I mean, it's just, I think Amar. The more
what
you
I'm
talk,
saying is,
Amar. The more you talk, the more ammunition you give the FBA ADOS. You're just all over
no,
the
that's.
place.
I'm telling you, the FBA movement. Once you say you don't have African lineage and your attachment to America is that, you giving up that right there.
No,
Once they
you're not.
blow up an
Amar. You're not. You're not. Stop it. You're not.
okay,
You're not.
okay. I'm just strengthened because these
You're
people
not.
never stop. They got a
You're
playbook
not.
that thick and they never quit. They're gonna keep on coming.
I understand, but
Okay,
Amar,
okay.
that's just
All
not the
right,
truth. Like
Hey,
as much as I disagree with FBA ADOS, if they claim that they not of African roots, they're not they can't come back and say, oh, you say you're not from African roots, we taking your citizenship. They just don't work like that, Amar. Let me pass the mic to Big Black. Go ahead, Big Black. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. There's some underlying truth to what Amara said. I'm not saying that particular situation right there, but there's some plays that's being ran. Um, I'm noticing as far as like I went to go type FBA as a cult on a page, and my comment was, not it didn't let my comment stick on the page, and I'm wondering why. I'm like, why is YouTube not letting me say FBA is a cult? I'm noticing things like their movement is getting pushed. What is it? And it seems a lot more people are, on YouTube. It seems like this movement is growing, exponentially, right? And the Russian boss has a lot of comments. Every little page that has something about like, we're African American, there's always somebody leaving a comment saying, hey, I'm FBA, this and that and this. So I think they are getting pushed. There's a push being done from non-black hands. Number one. Number two, I think the continental Africans that are Pan-African, the Haitians, the Caribbeans that are Pan-Africans, we need to just come out and say that this is a group, this is a cult, because that's what it is. Don't look at the black people that say that they're FBA and say, well, they want to delineate, let them delineate, because there's a lot of black people that are not for that movement, and they can't speak for all of us. That's why you have people like me and Gola, a slew of other black people, including Dynas, that's saying, hey, we're not FBA. Tariq doesn't have the right to put that tag on all of us. You see, there's a lot of, if you look at it too, a lot of these people that talk, they're followers. They'll believe anything. Some of them believe the Indians, like anything but not African. But I guarantee if reparations were being passed out and reparations are passed on to people that are only African descent, all of them would drop that Indian flag and they'll go get reparations. It's this thing, this movement right here is sick. And we need, all Pan-Africans need to speak up against this movement, because what they're trying to do, they really want to divide us. They definitely want to, I think they want to isolate African Americans, if you're totally honest. For what reason? Either they're playing something on us or playing something on some country or wherever in the diaspora. But this is a movement of isolation, and we shouldn't let it get this far. Hey, if we understand that in the 60s and 70s, when you had authors and revolutionaries telling us, hey, these guys had agents all around us. I remember going to a library and almost checking out a book made by this Black Panther. And the agent was basically, not the agent, the guy that wrote the book, and he was an ex-Black Panther. He basically was talking about how by the seventh day of the movement, the Black Panther movement, it was so many agents in the Black Panthers that the agents would tell no other agents, not even knowing that they're both our agents are working for the same people. So if they had situations like that back then, I'm talking about in the 60s and 70s, what do you think they have now? Especially if we're talking about something that's digital that can be easily controlled through the internet. with different bots, and we already know that the Russia bots are out. And I'm looking at how this YouTube this movement is being pushed and pushed and pushed. So yeah, we need to, as African Americans, as Pan Africans in general, whether you're continental Africans or from anywhere in the diaspora, British blacks, whatever, we should call this movement out as a cult movement, because that's what it is. It's a movement to divide. Why did this movement suddenly come out right after the more the diaspora starts talking to each other, we open up conversations, we getting to learn each other. This movement came out like 2 or 3 years, probably maybe 4 years after Dynas came out with his channel. And his channel was almost the biggest platform, pretty much the biggest platform, or black people can talk to each other around the world.
Right.
They don't want us to talk and come up with things amongst each other. They don't want us to do that. They want to divide us. I'll pass the mic.
No, I'm gonna chip up before I go.
It's my turn, bro. It's my turn, bro.
Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much. Have a great eve. I love. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, are you gonna speak, or are you just gonna say yep, yep?
Oh, my bad. I just wanted to say this whole thing, this whole FBA thing, all this is just what I call the worshiping the white man syndrome. Right? I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon. It's just gonna, even if we get rid of the FBA, something else is gonna pop up, because it's the low esteem thing, and it's a white man pretty much worshiping the white man thing, and we all do it to some extent. All right, most of the time, even Dynas does it now. All right, like all these like right wings talking points and stuff. Like a lot of that stuff is FBA rhetoric. Right, it's all white supremacy talking points to some extent. Right, so I don't think it's ever gonna go away. And another thing is, I think a lot of the Africans also don't understand that a lot of things have to change for Africa to be a better place. So I hear a lot of tribalistic talk a lot of the time when I call, like, the Africa dude. That's why I always have a problem every time he talks, because Africa always has this like weird, like, tribalistic mindset, and from what I've been hearing most of the time, it's usually Nigerians. Right? Nigerians are very tribalistic for some reason, and I think it's like a good thing, which I never understood why. Like, it's like a super important thing for him to be tribalistic. And
He's not
that's one
Nigerian
thing.
though.
I know. It's like
Okay.
Sierra Leonese or something, or Liberian or something. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just a Nigerian thing, but most of the time I hear Nigerians are very tribalistic. That's what I meant. All right, like most of the time, from a lot of Nigerians I meet, every time I talk to them, like the first thing that pops up is like, I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm Hausa. Like, it's really important. Like, it's really that important. And my point is, at some point, Africans on the continent, we have to like change the way we see things, right? We have to learn. I know we say that a lot, but we have to learn. I believe like slavery happened for a reason, right? Because we have to change the way we view ourselves. Like, the whole world view black people as one group and one inferior group, pretty much, right? That everybody feel like they're better than. Even the Middle Eastern, even the Indians feel like they're better than black people in general, right? That's why they have a caste system in India, because they feel like they're better than us. The only people that don't think we are the same people pretty much is Africans or black people in general. So that's why you see the FBA thing, or like in the UK it's the Caribbeans against Africans. In Africa is the tribe against this tribe. It's never going to change. And for the most part, yeah, it comes from Europeans, right? Europeans made it worse, right? But I think at some point, right, like I don't think the tribal thing, I don't think the tribe thing is that important. At some point, we have to view ourselves as better than that. I think the next phase for Africa to be a better place is that we have to not get rid of our tribes and traditions and stuff, but to evolve it, right? To take it to a better place where we focus more on what we can relate to instead of what divide us in general. Um, but yeah, like the whole FBA thing, I'm not surprised. I'm shocked it got this. I'm shocked it got this big because at one point I thought it would die down around like 2021, 2022. I remember during the Hidden Colors a documentary came out. I was shocked. I was like, why is people listening to this stuff? This is pseudoscience. This is pseudo history. All right, I had a friend who put me on it, and I was like, bro, this is idiotic stuff. Because I remember seeing a scene on I think Hidden Color 3, and he was in India somewhere, and he showed some dark skinned Indian. I can't remember what they called, but he showed some dark skinned Indian, and I was like, yeah, see, there's black people in it too. There's indigenous people everywhere. You know, black people aren't all from Africa. And I was like, bro, it's an Indian dude. It's just a dark skinned Indian dude. Right? There's dark skinned Arabs. There's dark skinned Indians, but they're not. They're not West African. They're not descendant of West Africa or Central Africa. This is idiotic stuff. But eventually, hopefully, it will die down. But I feel like something else will be born out of that because it's all a result of low self-esteem and worshiping a white man, whatever the white man says. Because even if you listen to Tariq, all he's talking point about Africans or Caribbeans is the way white people view Africans and Caribbeans. They're broke, they're poor, they stink. They have no money, they're corrupt, they steal money. Like the M dude earlier. I mean, idiotic stuff. But trust me, if you ever talk to a racist white guy, he will have the exact same talking points. Oh yeah, those Africans are like dirty. They sold other black people into slavery because of greed. They're poor, they're corrupt. Like they're not educated, right? They can't build anything. They can't build a nation, right? They've never built a successful nation before. This is all white racist talking points. And I don't know. I guess I'll come back, because I'm all over the place because I'm not really sure exactly where to go with my point. But for now, that's all I have.
Yeah. I like to make my closing remarks. I'm about to step off. At the end of the day, whether we call ourselves FBA, African or whatever, at the end of the day, it's all about power. Okay. Now I was downtown the other night, and I seen a beautiful dark skinned black sister walking with a white boy. Okay, and I came up to her and asked her, and and this type of thing, I do it on a regular basis. It's risky. I got in fights because of it. But I came up there and asked, I said, why are you with that white boy? Why are you not with a black man of your own race? And she told me that the reason why I'm not with a black man, because I want to see black man get real and step it up. Okay, and take back power. So that's what we have to understand. Okay, we have black sisters out here, conspiring with white man to erase and eradicate the black race, and that's on their own, because they have their own sick ways and own sick fetishes. But yeah, I do agree that black man should step it up and take back power. Now we have all these groups. One group, the Hebrew Israelites, saying that we should wait on God. You have the FBA saying that we should beg the white man for reparations, but those things, we might wait a long time to get, or we're never going to get. Okay, but the guaranteed way to take back power is to unite a strong army of thousands. Okay, the reality, that's how the white man conquered America. The reality will scare the hell out. That's why a lot of our people they are scared of ancient Egypt and ancient Kemet, because the white man who conquered this country, that's how he conquered it. He followed the way of Pharaoh and Alexander the Great and all these other legendary kings and empires. They went out there and fought for it and took America. So that's the reality. The reality will scare the hell out of black people. I mean, you're literally going to have to build up an army of hundreds of thousands soldiers and get out there and take everything. Okay, you're gonna have to shoot missiles, build up tanks, do all that stuff to bring an end to white supremacy and start a new empire founded on the black race. Okay, that's
Actually, I'll take it once.
a lot of you. Yeah. I mean, are you? I mean, yeah. Are you?
I'll take it one step further. I'll say that there has to be a war, right? There's no way around it, right? And that war, I believe, has to start in Africa, right? I feel like you have to get.
Yeah, you cut out. You cut out.
Tribalistic guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you cut out. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm saying like
but be smooth talking about the y'all feel y'all right, but just be smooth talking about it on the internet though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then I want to respond to Pharaoh what he said.
Yeah, I agree with N'Golo on that.
Yeah. But that's what and I feel that no, the war should start. It should start in America. Should not start.
Yeah, I don't think that conversation should be out publicly. That's not a conversation.
Yeah. But I'm just giving you. I'm just being realistic about it. Yeah, we can stay on the hush tip all we want, but the people are not going to know unless we speak on it. So that's the reality behind the whole thing, and it may take years and years for it to lead up to that, but what we got to hope for is we still be here as a race for it to lead up to that, because I'm telling you, this white supremacy thing is serious. Okay, you have these black women, they all Africa and America, they literally worship white men. Okay, and they are encouraging other black women to turn against the black man and worship the white man too. So they secretly trying to exterminate us like a silent extermination. What's going on, and that's a division that is taking place right now. And it all has to do with power. Because a lot of these women, even in Asia, like Thailand, Japan, those Asian women, they worship the white man because the white man is empowered. They see him as superior. But truth be told, he's not none of that. But and the reason why he is empowered is because everyone else is pretty much no one is fighting him. Everyone is laying down. So that makes him look superior. So and I believe once somebody actually fights him, he's going to fold like a thin piece of paper. That's the reality.
Okay, I just wanted to ask Pharaoh a question, right?
Go ahead.
So you were saying about the sister you was talking to that was with the non-black gentleman, and you said that the black men are weak. So when she said that, like from what I've seen from the 1980s to now, black men are very well off compared to back then, because you remember with the crack epidemic and the gangs and then the shootings and stuff. Like black men are from what I'm seeing, black men are doing very well, not just economically, also even with the incarcerations, they're not even in jail as much. It's been reduced. So my question to you was, when she was saying that black men are weak, what do you think she meant by that?
What I believe she meant was she wants to see black men, overthrow the white man, you know, and take power from the white man. She wants to see the black man step it up.
So she's saying once she sees this, she's gonna come back to black men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord, no.
Yeah. Okay. Now, hold on. Okay. Now, Pharaoh. Now, my thing is this too, right? Even if every black man married every black woman, because you know there's more women than men, there's still going to be women that's going to still date out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like honestly, there's nothing that we can do about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I will say is this: that black men of today are doing very exceptionally well. You know, but I just feel like I just feel like sometimes they are like being told that they got to meet a certain standard. Like they got to have $100,000 in the bank, or 200 or 25 100,000, right? They gotta have they gotta be 6 foot tall. They can't be nice. They gotta be aggressive. They gotta have their own company. They can't be a bus driver. They gotta be an entrepreneur. You know, they got all these standards, but when they date the non-black man, they don't have the same standards.
No, but it's they view them as having a cultural currency. I mean, I feel what a sister would be saying when they say that, but I wouldn't even call it. They're not my sister, but like to me, bro, the females that are weak enough to go with the ops, bro, just let them go. Like they shouldn't. That weak mindset is gonna, if they got with somebody black, they're just gonna make a weak child. We don't need no more weak. Mentally weak people like that. What I'm saying is, bro, as black men, we are doing horrible. Like just collectively, we love being amongst these white people. We love being amongst these Asians. We don't collectively on average want real power. So when the sisters be saying that do be true for the average African. I don't like using these dumb terms, but for the average black person, that is true, brother. We got to be objective.
All right, and let me add one more thing too, because it's like another thing is too, like my other brother was just saying, is that the brothers here, it's all about relationships, right? Like give you a prime example, Tom and Bill, their parents went to school together. They work at an attorney firm, whatever. Bill will be like, "Hey, bring your son Tom Jr. to my office so he can intern." You know, Lee from Korea can have Park. They know each other from back in the village, whatever, and they come get a laundromat, whatever. Lee would tell Park, "Hey, bring your child here to work at, you know, in the laundromat." Us, we don't really have that opportunity. You feel me? It's like we got to get out the mud. Really got to get out the mud, like, you know. So what I'm saying, I guess that they are doing it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like doing internships, even hiring of other brothers and stuff or whatever. You know, I mean, it's a long way to go, but I mean, it's trying. They're trying, man. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
we gotta get it out the mud though, because we not, as black men, we not cooperating to the level that we should be. Not at all. I think it's too much, and again, that comes from the lack of cultural continuity and the lack of strength in culture. We take more of the European. I gotta be the capitalist mindset. Well, I'm getting it, and if you getting it, I gotta take it from you. It's not cooperation. That's the problem. If we cooperated to the level, we wouldn't. All this stuff wouldn't matter, bro. We'd be straight. But we gotta change the pathology that we operate with, bro. Until we change our operating system and get away from these Eurasian mindset, bro. We finna in mass. We're not gonna be in a good place. But I think as far as starting to change the critical mass of people that think alike right now, because you're not finna change these. If you above 25, 9.5 times out of 10, you're not finna change your mindset. You got to start with these shorties, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I wanted to add that we, as black people in general, I don't think we understand how bad we have it. Because like in America, for example, right? Most black people will tell you they live in America, so they'll kind of follow this like white mindset. Right? They don't understand. Okay, the white man had okay, I don't want to put him on a pedestal, but they had to go through a phase where everything was very. They had to maintain a certain amount of discipline. All right. So like during the I guess I'll go back to like the Middle Age in Europe, right? When they had to go through the Enlightenment period, right? All these like they had to be very disciplined about about science and about science in general and philosophy. And we in 2026, black people as a whole, we don't take that serious. All right, and I think that's a serious problem that we should be taking serious, because that's what got China out of poverty. That's what got Chinese in general and Asian people in general out of poverty. It's taking discipline very seriously. The average black person today don't take discipline or don't take scientific or philosophy as a serious discipline to follow, pretty much. I think that's a serious problem that we really need to take seriously.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. You're saying pretty much they got to get into like the science, technology, math, and
Yeah,
in
and we
group
have
like
to
group
be
economics.
and we have to be more serious than the Asians, for example, or the Indians, right? Because we have a lot of ground to cover up and to catch up, just to catch up to the Asian, let alone the Europeans. Because I don't think the average European is more today is more intelligent than anybody else. I say the average Asian person is probably smarter or more intelligent or more disciplined. I'll use that word.
Let me say this real quick. You done, sir? Let me say this about the whole swirling thing, right? I think I think that stuff will kind of dissipate as the more Pan Africanism grows. I've seen the videos. I've seen videos, right, from actually continental Africans and people in the diaspora that's saying that the Black Americans were right when it comes to racism in America, right? So you have these videos where guys spend like maybe close to like 7 to 8 years, and they start seeing the racism indirectly, and they start saying that the Black Americans were right. I think as Black people start to unify, right, through Pan Africanism globally, I think what's going to happen is you will see more indirect or direct racism spew out, from non-blacks, right? And that in totality would actually, make Black people, more weary of different things, and that would be including swirling. So,
Yeah,
I
but
think.
it's been close to 70 years now. Pan Africanism isn't like a new idea or a new ideology.
It's not a new
That's a
idea,
decade
but at the
apart.
same time, yeah, but at the same time, you gotta understand, as far as like the technology, right? You gotta understand. As far as like with technology, as far as like
I don't
technical
think it's
side,
gonna help, honestly.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's gonna help. I think
Let me finish this though. Let
200
me finish
years from
this.
now,
Here's the
we're
thing.
still
Here's the
gonna be
thing.
doing the same
Here's the
thing.
thing. When we talk about, if you think about on the technical aspect, technological aspect of it, right? We're behind the 8 ball. So I think as our technology advances, as you starting to see more and more countries look towards Pan Africanism, right? There's a big cry for Pan Africanism, believe it or not, in Africa. They're starting to see. They're starting to go. I start seeing a lot of videos where they're speaking against tribalism and going towards Pan Africanism. People starting to wake up as our technology game gets more advanced. You're gonna start seeing more cohesion, and if you start seeing a more Black cohesion, you're gonna start seeing the snakes come out. You're gonna start
Right.
seeing the snakes come out.
Honestly,
And when they come out, and when they come out, believe me, when the snakes come out, Black people they tend to stick together. And let me say this: when you have more and more people globally seeing that, and snakes come out, and we start sticking together, you're gonna start seeing the pro-blackness that this world is yet to see.
I just want to.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to sound negative, right? I promise you. I know what you mean. And I understand it, right? Because you saying, oh, so they have phones now everywhere in Africa. They have, all over the world now. Like, so you can communicate pretty much with a Black person from Brazil or Jamaica, right? But and that's my point from earlier, right? We are so far behind. We have no idea. Like the internet, right? Cell phones. That's like 50. That's like a 60-year. That was a long time ago. Like AI isn't even AI right now. Like let's say most Black people want to get into AI right now. We're already behind. Like
But
that's how crazy we are
but
so
one
far
thing
behind. We have
about
no
black
idea.
people, one thing about black, especially like the continental Africans, they play catch up real fast. You see the
Well,
AES is the
yeah,
one of the
But
major things
my
growing.
big
We playing
big
catch
black.
up,
but
huh?
my point is
I just want to.
we'll never be able to catch up.
Why?
And
No, but
Why?
what
Because
I'm
you said that.
no.
Nah,
I was
cause
gonna add. I was gonna add something to what both of you brothers are saying, and what especially what Big Black was saying about the AES, right? He is indeed right as far as catching up from what I've seen, especially like in Burkina Faso, especially with the deals that they're getting. I'll just give you a prime example. I don't know if everyone heard about this before, right? Um, Burkina Faso has about 15 or 14 gold mines. Out the 15, 6 are state owned, and also the other 3 is owned by Burkina Bay billionaire. And the rest, they're operated by a foreign company, but Burkina Faso gets about 40% ownership of those mines, right? Then you have Niger with their the oil pipeline, whatever, which they get about 45% ownership from China. And then also you have Mali, who gets about, I think, 61 or 65% from the gold mines. They're gonna have in Russia pretty soon. They're gonna build like a gold refinery, which they can produce their own gold and stuff too. So, like Big Black is saying, they're doing it rapidly. It is happening, whatever. But what I believe, I don't think everyone is gonna be under the banner of Pan Africanism. But if everyone could be at least on doing good business, and then if we could do good business, don't have to have the same ideology, but at least do good business. I mean, that would be, a thing to proceed in.
and
You know what I'm
But
saying?
what you gotta understand too, there this the whole interracial relationship thing, that it's been a push. It's been a push by the media. They've been working on that for a minute. Ever since like the 2000s, it's been a major push, you know, towards swirling and this and that. And now
Oh
the
yes,
media
yes.
media seeing the fruits of their labor, right? And a lot of let's say black people that I won't say that know better, but that saw it as a way to, let's put as if racism doesn't exist anymore. And now there are a lot of black people now saying that that's not the case. You see what I'm saying? So I think if the more we have, the more we try to push Pan African unity, I think the better things will be personally. And we all have a part to play in, right? And we can't belittle each other's part. The one thing, one thing why the FBA movement is growing, I believe, is that you could just say FBA and you don't have to do anything. So the whole black people are just saying FBA, I'm FBA, I'm FBA. This some black people saying FBA, FBA, and it's growing because the only thing you do is say FBA, be FBA, this and that, and that is one of the things we have to do too. We'll have our intelligentsia, but we have to start shunning people too as far as like, well, you're not Pan African. What have you done? The FBAs don't say that. They just shout out FBA. They come on our platforms and troll their hell out of us, don't they? You know what I mean? Don't do anything but just type FBA and shout FBA, and they get to come on here and they give us all this fake history, as to make up lies as they go, screaming FBAism. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes
listen,
we're too hard on ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get it. I get it. Trust me. I get your point. I know where you're coming from, bro. But I'm just, to me, I feel like, okay, most of the time you meet two type of black people, right? You meet a black person that's, how do I put this? It's not important. It's not even important. My point is, we still trying to play the white man's game, and we still trying to catch up to the white man playing his game, right? All right. You mentioned earlier.
It's not his
Right?
game. I'm gonna say it's not his game. Life is a power struggle. You know that.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Trust me. Like, so you mentioned oil earlier, right? Well, oil, the price of oil is only high as the demand, right? Like, and at this rate, maybe 30, 40 years from now, oil is not going to be the same price, right? Because it's mostly going to be electric EVs everywhere. So, like, the price of the oil is drastically going to drop, right? But my point is, we're still trying to catch up, and we still don't understand how important it is to to first build a foundation in terms of what we want to do next. We have to be disciplined and create a philosophy on what we want black people to be like 50, 70 years from now. Until we do that, all we do is what we pretty much doing is trying to catch up, playing catch up games, and it's not going to happen because we don't control the market, because we never created a market for ourselves. I know it sounds kind of confusing.
Hey, guy, we got to pass the mic because I got to close out soon. D Red, go ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I kind of actually agree with the last, but I kind of agree with what you're saying. We got to create our own markets and create our own shit for each other. You know what I mean? So I agree with him. What he was saying was real. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to the brother. He actually made some sense. You know what I'm saying? I just came up here to say, man, like, y'all made me have to go do some research on Tariq, man, because Pan Africans talk about Tariq like he a boogeyman. So I had to go research him and start listening to his talking points, man. And the more I listened to his talking points, I started realizing it was Black American Pan Africans that gave Tariq power. They empowered Tariq. And the reason why I say that is because as a person that used to be a Pan Africanist, I can say that what turned me off is the weakness that Black American Pan Africanists showed. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be trying to talk unity and just let motherfuckers shit on people from my culture, and then I'm just gonna sit there and smile and kick in cockeyed with them and act like they. I ain't gonna. I have too much Black American pride to do that. You see what I'm saying? And
So every African,
Black Americans that allowed that shit.
does that. So every continental African does that.
Man, look, bro, I've been on this stage and I watched Black Americans get kicked off the stage. You know what I'm saying, for just defending themselves on this very stage, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I stopped coming over here.
I never see that. I never see that. Go ahead.
I've been on YouTube.
I mean,
bro,
I've kicked I've kicked everybody off. Women, Africans, Hispanics, Pan African, ADO, FBA. Everybody's been kicked off this stage for being disrespectful.
Yeah, but you can't kick somebody off the stage when they respond. If they respond, if somebody shoot a shot,
why were they? Okay, what happened? What exactly happened, D-Red?
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, on the stage I was on, the African dudes were shooting slugs, and then dudes started defending themselves, just like kind of what happened earlier. Dude was shooting slugs, right? He was shooting slugs about Black American culture this, Black American culture that. Nobody was saying that except the inarticulate dude that was a Black American. He wasn't saying that. He was trying to say something, but he wasn't sounding too good. But nobody said nothing. And so what I'm saying is, what ends up happening, he didn't get kicked off the stage because how is that fostering unity?
That never happened.
And do me a favor. Hold on, D-Red, do me a favor. Like, if you could find the actual show and the minute mark that happened,
that was years ago, bro. That was years ago.
Well, then we gotta just, I don't know. I just know everybody's been kicked off this show.
All right.
You know what I find out with people that are against Black African Pan Africans is that they act like as if like 80% of Black Americans pro-Black. Probably like 20% of every ethnic group that for I've seen has been pro-Black. The other people have not been pro-Black.
If that 20% is being nice.
Right. It's like, listen, man. I mean, I remember when being pro-Black, before Pan-Africanism was the stuff, you know, when it was being pro-Black, you know, was looked at, people looked at people that were pro-Black as lames. I remember that in the hood. I remember that in the community. So now Tariq comes in as if every African American was pro-Black. No, that was not the case. We need to stop like fantasizing as if like in the 90s and in the 80s everybody was all pro-Black. If that was the case, we wouldn't have had all the crack in our community if everybody was pro-Black. Stop it. Our music reflects pro-Blackness. If we were 80 and 90% pro-Black, our music will reflect that right now. And it has it since the early days of hip hop. And that passed right after like 93 and 94. It ain't been nothing but money, excuse my language, HOs and clothes. And how much drugs it is sold, how much drugs it took. So we was all pro-black. Y'all need to stop with all that. It was only like, look, to be honest with you, I would say probably like 5% or 10% of the black community that was pro-black. But that's how it is in the diaspora also. So this notion to say when we looking at the continental Africans or a lot of Caribbeans, some of them are not pro-black, to just paint everybody as being coons. Yeah, if you look at our community and compare it to their community, yeah, it's probably like 10% that's pro-black that are continental Africans, just like it was 10% that was pro-black and African American in America, just like it's probably like 10% that's pro-black in the Caribbean. Because everybody wasn't pro-black and pushing pro-blackness. We need to stop with that narrative. Tariq likes to push that narrative, but no, he even wasn't pro-black when he first started.
I mean, he might not have been. He wasn't. I can't say he was pro-black, but what I'm saying is, like, even what you said is not necessarily historically accurate. You see what I'm saying? Like, people may not have been a part of a necessarily organization, but how people move. Like, if you study the Lowndes County Freedom Organization, if you study how they built in John Hewlett, who built that shit up, you'll start understanding that most of Lowndes County, Alabama, once they organized, they got on code. You see what I'm saying? When you understand about the Regional Council and Negro leadership at T.R.M. Henderson, you know what I'm saying? I mean Howard, T.R.M. Howard. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And how they organized and how they built a fortress around Mound Bayou, Mississippi, and how they built up Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? And how they built them pretty much like how they built them up. So you'll see that it was a lot more than 10%. Now everybody may not have been a card carrying member of said organization, but they rocked with how the particular organization rocked. They got on with them. They helped them. They hid people that may have gotten into a certain situations with white folks. They hid them. You know, so they may not have been card carrying members, but they got out. They got out. When you look at groups like the Black Organizing Project and the Invaders in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? It was a large body politic that was getting down with the boys. You study the Revolutionary Action Movement. You study Robert F. Williams and the Black Guard in the Carolinas. These people's actually getting down for their crown and the community rock with them. So
But see, I agree with you with that. But you're talking about
you went
groups.
to the average black person, they could not tell you anything about those organizations within a 10-mile radius of them cities, especially from the last 20, 30 years. Like, can we stop being disingenuous, brother? Please.
Yeah, because you're talking about
most black people don't care nothing about they don't care about nothing about doing for self or nothing, bro. Most black people are content being consumers, bro. Can we stop?
I mean, that's where you at. Because where I'm at,
you wouldn't be in this position if this critical mass existed that you talking about, bro. Y'all be in fantasy land and be delusional.
But y'all was just up here talking about Pan-Africanism, but you weren't saying that when see that's what I'm talking about.
Hold on,
this is exactly what I'm talking about. So everything you say about Pan-Africanism is a pipe dream.
No, I didn't. What are you talking about? I didn't say that
everything.
I'm saying right now, as currently constructed, the mind of the community, even with quote unquote Pan-Africanism, most people ain't implementing anything.
You just named a lot of groups.
Definitely, you did.
You just named a lot of groups from the 60s and 70s that, like my man said, if you walk in the 10-mile radius and ask a person, what's the name of this group? Have you heard this group? They probably would say no. Most likely they would say no. In any
How do you know that? Have you done it?
I've grown out, man. I've grown in the hood. I've been in the hood. A lot of things they don't know. A lot of things the hood don't know because at the same listen. Let's be real. If that was the case, the hottest song right now wouldn't be Spin That Shit. Let's be real. Stop playing, man.
Yeah, what does it got to do with anything?
That speaks to the psyche.
We've always had debates. We've always had salacious music, even when it was blues. That's what I'm saying. When you don't know Black American history, you just be talking. Even during the time. I'm not gonna yell at you, bro. But the thing is, even.
What's the last hit that we had? Like I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown. Tell me.
But even at the same time, brother, we still had the bass music. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we sleeping in the we had sleeping in the next room and all that kind of stuff. Woman to woman. At the same time, we had black power. What are you talking about?
When have we had a hit
like, what
that
are you
was
talking
about empowering black people? When the last time we had a hit like that?
We had a power about a song about empowering black people?
Yeah, when the last
Yeah,
time?
that wasn't about consumerism, killing, and doing debauchery.
Does Kendrick rap about that? Does Kendrick rap about debauchery?
Yes, he does. He throws in some consciousness in there, but yeah, he always saying the N word. He always cussing. He still talk about buying stuff.
I mean, he from Compton, bro. So I mean, he's not gonna be the most articulate, bro. But he don't.
It's not about being articulate. It's what he
J.
still
Cole
chooses to engage and indulge in the nonsense.
Does J. Cole rap about that? No, you don't.
J. Cole is not black.
Okay, if you say so. You know what I'm saying? But the black people buy his music.
Black people buy a lot of people's music.
You know what I'm saying? And he's accepted as black in the community, so you can say what you want. That's an opinion.
But even J. Cole don't say anything that's getting nobody no power. He's consumerism too, bro. Like you talking about these entertainers, bro. Like brother said, bro. The black people in the United States are not on no do for self, trying to be self-sufficient stuff, bro. It's just not the case. And we got to stop lying and acting like that's the case. Most black people are content being consumers. That's why this FBA stuff is so popular, because they just want to be, they want to leash off the United States and cool. And they just trying to find a way within their mind to where they can rationalize it to where it's just not going to get
it's not, bro. I actually been on Twitter spaces. I actually been on Twitter spaces and actually talked to the people.
I have. Bro, I grew up around it all my life, brother. I know the mindset from all over the United States. It's the same.
You don't think there's no
No, it's not the same, bro. You do know we got black suburbs in almost every.
Brother, I'm from a black suburb.
Okay, then. So what are you talking about?
I know, but again, that same degenerate mind, you got people in the suburbs acting like they from the city, claiming gangs, and parents making six figures.
Everybody not doing that. So what is your point? Everybody not doing that. So what is your point?
Who said everybody's? I'm saying there's still a baseline of debauchery, and it's still consumerism. It's not about being self-sufficient.
It's degenerates in every culture, bro. So
I'm not saying it's not.
We're the only one that try to define ourselves. The Angolan brother, he wasn't on the stage talking about fucking all the violence and sexual abuse and shit that's going on in Angola.
First of all, you brother, your comprehension doesn't seem satisfactory right now.
No, bro.
My point is that was not to say that.
As soon as a black American starts speaking positive about black American culture, it's always a nigga that's want to start shitting on black American culture. But
because you want to exist, bro. I said this to the brother M, bro. Y'all want to
proving my point.
You want to exist in a realm that placates to your ego, and you're not a.
No, you're proving my point.
So black that you still use the N word.
Facts, like I don't know.
So what?
No,
so what?
You calling people N word?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, so what?
You haven't broke the slave.
Y'all are more upset. But y'all ain't come off y'all mic and say nothing when that dude was shitting on black American culture. Y'all was quiet as a church house mouse.
Dog, the guy that you're talking about, the one that you're talking about, he's an African American. He just got off the mic.
He's from Angola, bro. The dude was from Angola.
No.
That's what he said.
No, he did not say that. The dude from the United States, dog. That's the dude from the United States. The guy that just talking from the United States.
I'm not talking about the guy that just talking.
That's the one that said something about African Americans. That's the guy that said African Americans don't have a culture. And when I came on, didn't I Dynasty? When I came on, I said African Americans do have a culture. When I came on, but when
he got to talking, then you start saying, "Well, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you."
No,
so, bro, you started coughing.
I agree with
you was moonwalking backwards faster than Michael Jackson.
Get out of here, man. I agree with some of the things.
You ain't stand on. You ain't stand on business.
The guy from the United States. The guy.
But that's the point. Y'all don't stand on business.
The guy, the quote unquote, the guy will be FBA on paper, quote unquote. That's why I came up. I said, no, we do have a culture. I understand what you're saying when you say, yeah, there's some European culture. Yeah, of course we have some European culture being over here. But I was telling about the the African continuity that we have that came over there, that came from slavery, not from slavery, but from Africa. When we came over here, the things that nobody can take from us, and we used that. We used some of the European culture, but we made our own stuff. And I went to talk about the numbers that were ran in Chicago that we didn't make from slavery. That didn't come from slavery, but which was illegal at that time, but now it's legal, and it's called the lottery.
Yeah, the black dude that ran the racket in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I came up and said something about that. That's the word that I talked to. He agreed with me, but he agreed me with that, and then we just left it at that. But I guess he was trying to say, he was talking about the brainwashing that was going on in slavery. I think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, but a lot of countries are brainwashed. That's what I'm saying. Nobody comes on these stages and air their business out. Nobody, you're not gonna hear me. Most of the time, you're not gonna hear no Jamaican talking about paternity fraud. You're not gonna hear a Nigerian talking about paternity fraud. You're not gonna hear these motherfuckers coming up and talking about it. They're not gonna hear that shit, bro.
Guys, what was your show yesterday? He had a show yesterday where they was coming in talking about nothing but Africa and different parts of Africa and what's going on in Africa. He does that all the time.
Oh, you talking about what passport, King?
All right, guys. Hey, guys, we got to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. To next time, Family Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.
Big Black.